Hello, esports enthusiasts. Atwas here, bringing you another ESEA-IM cast. Only this time it's playoffs. Joining me tonight is Deer. Say hi, Deer.
Hello.
And on camera, we will have the lovely Rondego tonight. It will be Hate Being Sober versus Small and Soft, fighting for the chance to play Meat Market, I believe, in the standings. And how are you feeling about tonight's match, Deer?
I feel like we're gonna have a pretty good match to watch. So Small and Soft has been kind of a mysterious team since they don't scrim that much, but they had a really nice record in the normal season. And then Hate Being Sober has gone through a lot of different roster changes, but with the new best of three format and these two teams kind of coming together now, I think we should see something really fun.
Most definitely. And the first map being played tonight, obviously, will be CP Badlands, and I believe the second one will be Viaduct. And, if it comes down to the third map, we will be hitting up Process and having some fun there. So, let's scroll down some rosters real quick, because we have everyone in the server.
All right, so that's a first, everyone being in the server super fast. So I will go down Small and Soft first. And we're going to have Kevin Paul as a scout duo for them. Luna's side is going to be the roamer or Luna. And then we can have Sakura or Doll on pocket. Conductor is going to be the demo. And then Dingo is going to be their medic. So the noteworthy kind of changes from the normal season are that Dingo's on medic except instead of London. And then Paul is replacing one of the other scouts from before. So, yep.
All right, on Hate Being Sober, we have Corsa and Tic Tac on scout. We have Dagger playing Roamer, Farns playing Pocket, Rikachu playing Demo, and Kig playing Medic. Also some roster switch-ups here throughout the season. And I'm definitely interested in seeing how these teams will gel with each other and definitely against each other. Badlands is like the Sixes map, so hopefully we'll see some good from both teams tonight.
Yeah, and I guess some also noteworthy things about their rosters is that there's a lot of aliasing going on the side of Small and Soft. So just to be clear for anyone who's not aware, Aileen is Dingo, Kaylee is Conductor, and Emoto Fan is Kev, and then I think they've got they actually have Ringo on Scout instead of Paul, so I was incorrect there. So Ringo back on Scout to be with Kev, so yeah.
Unfortunately, if people are aliasing, I will buy their alias. Apologies in advance, but I feel like that just makes it easier on everybody watching and the camera.
Yeah, definitely.
So, it's a question, Dear. So, 2 questions this time, actually. One more than usual. How are you feeling this first map's gonna go? Do you think it'll go to?
So, this one actually, I'm not too confident in my prediction, but I think I'm gonna be rooting for Small and Soft throughout the whole thing. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be a good solid 5-3 on Badlands for Small and Soft. I think I don't really know.
All right. I'll give it maybe a 5-4 for Hate Being Sober, just because I like fun. And I can't exactly bet on the same team now, can I? But here's the second question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Alright, here's the second question. Who do you think will win the best of 3?
Now, I think I'll still be rooting for Small and Soft since on Viaduct, the Kev and Ringo scout pair I think is probably going to do a lot of work. Earlier in the season when we saw Small and Soft play, I think the fact that they don't scrim much kind of worked to their disadvantage or severe disadvantage, but in the postseason, from what I've heard, they, I think, have actually put some more time into doing stuff outside of matches, so we might see some more coordination and a lot of really nice DM from them there. So I'm gonna predict them to win the best of 3.
Alright, I think I can agree with you on that. I know last time we casted Small and Soft, it was versus Meat Market on Viaduct, and Meat Market turned the point into a bit of a meat grinder, so hopefully they'll be able to come back from maybe a loss on that same map early in the season, especially with that roster change up. I think maybe we'll actually see a third map, though, so that'll be my prediction, is that maybe we'll get to see Process action tonight.
Alright, Process would definitely be a fun map to watch, so hoping for that in a really close game too. If it came down to like a 5-4 on the first map and then a 4-3 for the other team and then a 5-4 to round everything off, then we'd be here for 5 hours, but it'd be 5 very exciting hours.
5 very exciting hours. Oh man, looks like people are picking teams, and I think I'm gonna let you take this first mid, my friend.
Alright, so I think I will do the kind of traditional thing and then follow a demo man up until mid, and then I might give some love to scouts this time. So got the match going live right now, and I'm gonna give some love to Conductor Kaylee on this first and do the rollout here. We've got some normal Badlands stuff going on, people going upstairs and things like that. And we'll see what happens as this first mid starts to unfold. So, Conductor opting to go house. It looked like he wanted to go balcony for a second there. And I think he did get beat by Rikachu, actually. So we've got a Dagger jumping really fast onto the blue team, already in their house. One scout does go back to chase him, but Dagger was taken out there, so he was able to kind of get up the slope with no fear right now. But all of Small and Soft kind of playing on the ground, and I think they might want to, or not Small and Soft, all Hate Being Silver is playing on the ground. They're backing up through their rally right now, so that mid kind of really nicely went to Small and Soft. I was about to say the wrong team again. And Conductor actually did pick up a crazy pipe into Tic Tac at the end there, so pretty convincing mid.
Kig went down pretty late during that mid fight, so Dingo, I believe that's Dingo, will have a really significant advantage as, you know, Hate Being Sober is sort of backed up into second. You see Dagger over there kind of lurking around, trying to get some stuff off, but, you know, Hate Being Sober just kind of got forced out of that mid fight. Their med took a lot of early damage, and so we do have Dagger in on the demo, but the Uber does get popped as an offensive thing, so the demo is in, but Uber's already pretty much out. Med's over there, you know, Soldiers trying to get some agency on the point, but demos for Rikachu's just sort of throwing some stiggies up there, and it's only Ringo up for Small and Soft, so that is a pretty good by Hate Being Sober. Nice hold, and they'll probably go on to cap second.
Yeah, and I see Ringo just kind of hanging out, trying to be sneaky there, but I don't think if he's going for a back cap, he'll really be able to do much because of Hate Being Sober getting so many players stacked on the Spire there. So Ubers are going to be hanging out at around even right now, and Dingo just started healing, as did Kick. But with that trade for Ringo and Tic Tac, things are just going to be relatively even. Hate Being Sober does have a lot of room to work with now, though, since they did cap the Spire. If I were them, I'd really try and focus on locking off Choke, because Lunaside has a lot of room to work with, and the Scout I see running in from Small and Soft right now, they're taking a lot of the space that Hate Being Sober is giving to them. One soldier is behind them on the porch, I see Kev fighting him there, and a lot of chaos is happening in that yard. Lunaside taken out as well, so Conductor and Luna both down for Small and Soft. That's going to cue a push from Hate Being Sober right now.
Absolutely. Corsa picking up a nice pick on Luna, making sure Hate Being Sober can move in. He's kind of dancing around the combo, seeing what he can get. Dahl does go down. It's just 2 scouts and a med on point. It looks like Hate Being Sober will probably take this. Corsa picks up another frag in the form of Emoto Fan, which I believe is Kev, and that'll be Small and Soft going right back to their Gray Bridge as, you know, Dingo does call. We do have an even Uber situation going on here, and the Uber is popped on Corsa and a counter pop on another scout. It's like a scout v scout Uber going on here, and it looks like Hate Being Sober will just elect to sort of back up and keep a nice hold on mid instead. It's just the reset.
Yeah, that pop there from Corsa, he got onto Dingo pretty aggressively. He kind of held onto his leash from Kig, but then was really in the face of the players on Small and Soft, and then that Uber exchange did happen, and I think they're just going to elect to hang out on mid here, since last time that Small and Soft did push them, they did get punished for it a lot. Watching Dagger kind of feel his way out in house right now to see if maybe he can find some openings to make some space, and he does find another blue soldier, but I don't think that will really amount to much. So both Ubers around 50-60%, not too much happening, just a lot of spam, and we'll see what happens from here, I guess.
Absolutely, we're getting some building over here on the side of Small and Soft, you know, Colin, get your buffs, come over here. And not really too many pick classes. Oh man, Big Bomb going in there, trying to get in on the medic. Medic pops up in the air, doesn't matter. Dagger goes down to a nice scattergun shot from Ringo, and Kaylee actually got blown up off of Corsa, so that is 2 down, and that means Small and Soft does have the Uber and they do have the numbers, so they're probably going to be getting pretty aggressive on this point. And you know that, here we go, Moto Fan forcing the Uber. Nice play by him, and we do finally have blue Uber being popped as well, but it'll be significantly better. We do have some body blocking going on here. Demo sitting back and Choke, kind of a classic Sixes Uber going on. And, you know, oh man, another big jump. Dagger jumps up, takes down Ringo, takes down Emoto, takes down Kaylee. Nice 3k, and it looks like that'll go to Hate Being Sober.
Yeah, I think Small and Soft really just needs to kind of tighten up their pushes here, since they did have a pick advantage, but when they came in, Sakura went kind of deep to try and get the force out of the other team, and actually got cratered coming back to his medic, so that didn't work out there, and they lost 2 players during their push, which kind of ruined the whole thing for them, so they're going to be forced to hold last. See, Kev is on Engineer right now, getting a sentry up. Uber is at around 65% for Cake, so he might be able to get like a level 2 before the Uber is popped off, but Maybe not, of course, it keeps on pistoling down the sentry. They do know it's there, so when they push, they'll just be able to kind of focus it down and do their thing. Dagger actually already getting really aggressive on it. Kev does get off at NG now. So Hate being Sober, they get Uber right now, and as long as they buff their players up, this should be a really clean last push for them.
And it looks like if the Uber is popped in, not many people going down. Ringo does go down. We have a lot of people sort of mucking around up top. Luna goes down, a Motofan goes down, and it looks like Dagger and Corsa are just kind of cleaning up like crazy. They get on the cap, and that is it. First
Corsa definitely doing a lot of work for his team that round, so give you this mid.
Alright, I think I will be watching Rikachu give the opposing demo a little bit of love. We haven't been watching him all too much. He opts to go for the house rollout. He's going to be standing on balcony, throwing some stickies out, doing what he can. His scouts are he jumps out, meets up with his medic, soldiers jump up, scouts are already taking the aggressive position over there up on crate, and who went down? Medic went down. Oh my god, I didn't even notice, but Corsa moving across point, Dagger going in really deep there. Not a lot of heals, but it doesn't matter because there are only 2 up on the point of small and soft, and that is a really nice mid there from Hate being Sober.
Yeah, and I see Kev and Conductor kind of forced back into forward spawn. I think they're in the back spawn there. So Hate being Sober gets a lot of room right now to work with. They can just kind of cap Spire, and if I were them, I would have my combo in lobby already, knowing that the respawn's coming up. So no unconventional classes happening on the side of small and soft, but it does look like they're going to elect to try and get a forward hold going. And with the pick onto Tic Tac, they definitely kind of have the privilege to do that. As I say that, the Ringo does go down, so they're going to probably want to back up. Luna's side actually does get taken down also. There's a nice roamer fight happening on the right side. So that's going to keep push through main right now for Hate being Sober. But Uber's popped relatively early, but they do have the picks to work with right now. If they get players onto the point, then Riku can just kind of stick it up and make that round theirs.
And it looks like that will be the cap. A really fast round going to Hate being Sober, and it's your mid.
Yep, so, let's see. We've given the demos both love, and I'm gonna follow Rikachu up till mid, and then I'm gonna give some love to the scouts. So, I've been mentioning Corsa a good bit, and I think I'll see what he's doing on mids that's so effective, since he's been getting a lot of frags and playing in the right places a lot of times. So, Rikachu and Conductor both opting to go through the window. Conductor kind of getting off of his perch early, and I think that the blue team was kind of off to go through the closet. And I'm watching Luna side right now, kind of hanging out under the point at 50 health, just get a frag, but both Conductor and Luna are taken down. Rikachu, though, and Farms are down as well, so there's a medic up for both teams. Right now it's only Kevin Tic Tac versus the world, sort of, and they're going to want to get out right now. Kig in danger, does get taken out by the scattergun of Kev and Ringo in conjunction. Tic Tac, the last person kind of dancing around there, manages to get taken out eventually, so that mid does go to small and soft, sort of scrappily, but they did keep a good few players up and have a huge advantage to work with.
Absolutely, and definitely a good switch up by the medic there, opting to go up into the house instead of going valley. That means he was protected from Dagger's bomb, which is probably the reason that Hate being Sober was doing so great. They got that damage going on, and boom! Corsa is up on that sniper, gets a Motofan with a pretty sick nasty headshot, and Small and Soft will be rolling in with a pretty much 100% Uber. And we'll just see what happens, but Corsa is still up on Sniper, so I'm kind of excited to see if maybe he'll get some sick shots off.
Ooh, and Ringo actually is taking down my Tic Tac as well. There was a solid forward hold going by Hate being Sober, and they didn't really let that up all that much. They did get the early pop out of small and soft, which is exactly what they needed in the situation. Tic Tac also just drawing some tension behind. I think that Kev had to kind of fight him there, and the Uber was pretty much all wasted in lobby and going into trash from small and soft. But they do still have some picks to work with on Dagger and Tic Tac, so I don't know if they'll try and make something happen really quickly here, or just kind of set up in lobby and hope they don't get pushed out on really aggressively.
Right, Dagger did a pretty nice distraction player. He jumped Spy back when the demo was up on there, and he pretty much forced that Uber, so that's good on him. Kig does have Uber right about now, and Dingo's only sitting at about 30%, so we do have a lot of aggression. Farnsworth up on Spire. Medic also committed, jumped down onto Spire as well, so it looks like Red will be taking the trash area. Farnsworth did go down. Dagger also took down Luna, so it's sort of a 5v5 situation, and Dingo is not really healing all that much, and it looks like the second point will be a pretty nice dry push. And I say dry push, but the Uber does get popped through choke onto Corsa, I believe. No, Corsa and Tic Tac being flashed, trying to get some scout aggression, but honestly, trying to get through that choke with all the projectiles flying. Maybe they'll get mid, but I don't know about it. Maybe Dingo will get Uber in hot, and he is at 95%. The soldier is on. Crossbows are flying past him, and it looks like he'll be able to hold on, not taking much damage. They do get the Ubers, so mid will stay with small and soft, and looks like Hate being Sober will just have to back out.
Yeah, and I don't think that Spawn Soft wants to let up their aggression here with the players that they have. I think they're going to try and keep on moving forward. Yeah, they have people on Spire already. So, Hate being sober, when they pushed into mid there, the Uber was forced when I think Tic Tac ate a pipe and Kig, I think, popped to save him. But they kind of went a bit too far with the Uber since they popped it around Spire and tried to use that momentum to ride through Choke, and they really couldn't do that and got punished for it. So now we've got Tic Tac on Pyro, and that's the only sort of crazy sort of defense tactic we see on Hate being sober. But with this huge Uber advantage, I should expect Spawn Soft to pop in right now. Yeah, they're in already. Pops in on Kev, so the Pyro's not going to do too much. The Pyro actually wasn't effective at all there. Do get some time on the point, but they are losing players left and right. Ringo, Lunacide, and Kev all down, so now we only have Conductor and Dingo kind of running through main. Dingo separating from Conductor to try and save his own medic life right now. And Hate being sober, probably feeling pretty good about this last hold. Ooh, Dingo actually getting saved by the pipes of Conductor, who was pretty, he seemed like he was in a dire situation to kind of manage to get out of there, so got a crazy Spire fight happening again.
Most definitely. It looks like Hate being sober decided to push out. Kig was at 100% Uber, but they didn't quite in fast enough, and the Uber did get forced by a combination of spam, so it looks like Kig is just gonna have to back out with his scout and see what he can do. Tic Tac just back up, see what can happen. Dingo is on 50% Uber, advantage, and so they'll probably just be setting up, trying to get some space in the lobby. We do have a bit of a forward hold. People are peeking, but I don't think either team is really ready to commit to anything quite yet.
Yeah, and with this Uber advantage, as long as Small and Soft kind of does the push in a way where they don't end up losing all the players early. Ooh, Lunacide actually trying to be kind of clever in the bottom right there, does get taken out, but if he comes back up in time and they push with him, or I think they might just opt to, yeah, they're going in right now. Uber is popped from Small and Soft into the top left. Ringo does go down early though. Uber is still being used, but no fragger coming out in favor of Small and Soft. Corsa does get taken out, as does Rikachu, so there we go. Just rush the player on the point, and that's going to be around for Small and Soft. So they did redo that last push and just kind of prioritized the point there and got that round. So.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't need frag, you just walk on the point. It is probably, I think, one of the fastest points in the game. I think that and Granary last, so I think I'm going to watch Dagger this mid. He does some nice jumps, and he's actually jumping a long way around, jumping through Choke instead, and he's going to be pogoing off crates here. He goes all the way into the opponent's house and, meets up with a scout. He's going to be on the medic pretty soon. The blue team medic does opt to go in through the house area. Soldiers flying both ways. Motofan does finally go down. Lunacide also goes down. Dagger takes down Ringo as well. We do have a counter thing trying to get in there, but Corsa finishes him off, but Kick also goes down. So it's just Dingo, and that is a nice clean wipe for, Small and Soft.
Yeah, both medics should be down there, so Hate being sober won't have nearly as much of an aggressive advantage as they would if they had kept Kig up in that situation, but with the players that they got picked and the convincing mid, they have a lot of momentum to ride with. I don't think they're going to be confident enough to kind of move into lobby since it's not necessarily safe without a medic there, but there won't be any sort of crazy Uber disadvantages happening, and Kig actually did spawn on crits, so he is already sitting at around 50% on his crits, and I don't think that Small and Soft seems to be expecting it. If I were them, I would have maybe gotten an engineer expecting something like that to happen, but both teams just kind of building away. Kig will get it first with his crits, so we'll see how they decide to play that. Tic Tac actually does go down, but I don't think that will really help the crits train, since when they get it, they kind of have to use it or they're going to lose that advantage. But they are set up in upper lobby, which is kind of interesting. I think popping through the top is sometimes a bit risky of a move, and the crits is up onto Farns right there, and rockets coming in but not really connecting with anything. Dingo managing to not get hit by a single rocket there. Sakura was taken out, and then Farns kind of awkwardly dies there, and Uber is popped in response. We have a chariot of scouts happening. Kick actually stuck behind the point, so he's kind of staggering himself. And ooh, I'm seeing Kev just kind of cleaning up the remaining players and Hate being sober, chasing out that scout from the bottom left. He's not done yet, I don't think. Yeah, pistols him down, so a nice kill streak from Kev right there. So 3 players down from Hate being sober, and that push was all for naught.
Yeah, Cheeky plays with the crits there, and it might have worked, but honestly, just with Badlands Last being as cluttered as it is, I don't think that it's just a great play, unless maybe you go into the lower side, but yeah, that remains to be seen. Both medics are up on Uber again, with Dingo at a slight advantage, hitting up 60%. We're just gonna have some spam being traded back and forth through this choke here. I don't see anybody jumping in quite yet. Demo's getting a little aggressive. Red team's getting a little aggressive through choke as well. Kig knows that he can be, a bit more, but you know, 3 of his players are down, so maybe he should probably think about backing out as he pulls out his crossbow. And it looks like Luna jumped in along with his scouts and just kind of cleaned up on his team. He wasn't getting heals out.
When I'm watching Kig in his great escape right now, he's down to 72 health, and I think that's the Sliver kind of struggling to chase him properly. He does actually finally take him out there. So Being Sober did get a pick on the Conductor kind of early in that mid standoff, and that queued their push, but from there they just kind of funneled players in and ended up dying, so they got super punished for that. And now they don't have a medic, and Dingo's got 100% Uber, so there might be some sort of desperation play to delay things, or just a solid last hold. I see Rigachu playing pretty forward without heals. He might just be laying down some stem on Spire, and Tic Tac also really aggressive in a house on Badlands right now. So if I were small and soft, I'm trying to see where they are. Yeah, they're already on Spire. I would just try to push into last, since they're effectively a player down with Tic Tac all the way behind there.
Yep, Tic Tac did go down to Luna, so finally he'll get a spawn and maybe be a bit more useful. Do have a Pyro up on Orsa, doing a little thing, hiding, seeing what he can do. Unfortunately, you can kind of see his decreaser, so they know he's there. And the Uber does get popped in right away. A pretty nice reflect there, stuffing that Uber very nicely. Of course, it does go down to some stickies finally, but that is enough for that Uber to be, you know, gone. Cake does go down, however, and so as long as people walk on this point, scouts going on here, and Dingo is still alive, and so the other scout does have heals, but Rikachu's going in there trying to get some nice pipes off. Tic Tac goes down to Ringo. Rikachu hits a really nice pipe, and it is straight up MGE as Dingo decides to, you know, ollie out and regroup with his team.
Yeah, I was kind of confident in Ringo's ability there for a second, since Dingo did hit a nice arrow on him to keep him alive in the fight, and he managed to get the scout, but those pipes from Rikachu kind of sealed the deal there. So we've got Small and Soft kind of forced back to around their choke area, but I don't think they want to give up break quite yet. So Being Sober is not going to be able to just kind of push up for free here. Kig and Farns, the combo with the team, is both down kind of low right now, so they don't really have all that much of comfort level if they're wanting to push out. And Doll is getting pretty aggressive up there too. I see the combo is actually climbing from Small and Soft, so any space that they lost, they're quickly reclaiming, and they do have around a 10 or 20% advantage too. So they shouldn't really be too frightened of anything that Being Sober is going to be throwing out at them right now.
No, absolutely not. We do see Farns sort of getting some spam in there, but neither team is really wanting to go forward. Both medics are sitting at 100% Uber, not advantage. There is no advantage if they're even. And it looks like Small and Soft will just try and muscle their way in here as dryly as possible, just because they do kind of have those spam angles, they do kind of have the high ground, and the Uber actually does get forced out from Dingo, who dropped down to about 30%. The Uber does get popped in lobby, so it's not going to really last, but Kig also pops Uber, trying to get some aggression, but it doesn't matter because Emotopan just could have walked past everything and said, you know what, nah, don't want any of that.
Yeah, they kind of got a bit too jumpy on that push out. I think it was definitely kind of the right idea to pop in response, but everyone just kind of flooded through main right there, leaving half the entrances open, and Kevin will just kind of cap last there. So on this mid, I'm going to give love to Doll or Sakura and see what he can do this time. I think that Small and Soft has been going closet like most of the mids here. They do that, fairly aggressive on the train, get an early pick on the Tic Tac here, and I'm going to free cam it for a bit to see kind of what's going on in general. Got the team slinging up to opposite trains. Dagger getting pretty aggressive, goes down to pretty low health and doesn't get too much done with his bomb here. Small and Soft pretty defensively holding the enemy team's train, and their health is pretty good too. So Dagger, Rikachu, and Tic Tac all down for the opposing team. As I say that though, it's kind of a 3-on-3 situation, but the health is in favor of Small and Soft, and they do have the positioning just kind of on the point. So that mid is going to be Small and Soft's just out of pure playing it the right way, I think.
Absolutely. I noticed Kig was healing a lot more with crossbows than with his medigun that mid, and that probably had something to do with it. And Rikachu going down so late means they can probably just walking choke, and here they go. The blue combo does decide to just sort of go in, W forward, and throw some stickies down, tossing soldiers up into the air, and the Uber does get popped. Kig decided to hold on to that for time, but that also gives Go a really significant advantage. All they have to do is back up, and then, oh man, Farmsworth got caught out by that corner. Map Geometry wins again, and it looks like Kig will be able to get back into lobby. He's not being chased too hard yet. The shutter door is working in his favor, and not many picks happening. Rikachu throwing out some pipes from, I believe, forwards, and a soldier is in there as well, but Spire will go to Small and Soft.
Yeah, and Dingo actually, you mentioned that Kid kind of held on to his Uber for a very long time, but when the Uber was popped from Being Sober, Dingo just kind of nonchalantly walked backwards through the choke and was like, I'm not going to pop this, and now they have a whole Uber advantage to switch last with. So very nicely played from Small and Soft, managing to not really lose players against the enemy Uber, or take that much damage. So Dingo gonna have a huge Uber advantage right now. Lunaside is going down pretty low, but if I were them, I'd just kind of push in. So Uber is going to come out top left side. They do usually lead on the scout, and that does happen. The heavy from Being Sober was kind of chased back into spawn, I think, went back to his normal class. So now Farns and Corsa are both down. Conductor does get taken out, but there is still a lot of presence from the small and soft players right now. Dingo whips out the crossbow, getting onto point, takes out the Uber Slug, gets one shot from the Rikachu, kind of baiting people onto the point, and doesn't manage to get anything from that. But Lunaside comes in from behind and seals the deal there. So that's going to be a 3-2 for small and soft, and that's half.
I'm telling you, it was called play off my damage. Lunaside jumped in there and played off that damage. Not bad, not bad at all. But 2-3, definitely a bit more back and forth than I thought. Especially with Being Sober taking those initial 2 rounds very cleanly, and now you have the comeback kids coming in the form of small and soft.
Yeah, I think that what we're seeing a lot of is that the first 2 rounds, Being Sober definitely played very strong, and I don't think they're playing weak necessarily, but Small and Soft has done a pretty good job in reacting to what they've been doing, since a lot of what they've been getting, like any ground that they've been getting or any cap points that they've gotten, have been off of punishing Being Sober for getting a bit antsy on their plays. And then I think, not to call out a player, but Tic Tac has maybe not been playing as much with the rest of the flank as Corsa and Dagger are, since it seems like Corsa rotates around, takes heals a lot, and does what he needs to do. But whenever I'm watching Tic Tac, he seems to kind of be off in his own place, doing his own thing. So that might have something to do with what's going on. But Small and Soft definitely really good at punishing any sort of sloppy pushes from Being Sober.
Absolutely, and I'm checking some of the stats right now as they are live, and we do have some pretty significant damage on the side of small and soft. We have 3 players, hitting up that 6,000 damage in total, getting above that 300 DPM, so that's always definitely really good. And Rikachu just kind of, maybe not doing as well as I thought he would.
Yeah, I'm actually opening up the stats page right now to see who's doing work for who damage-wise, and yeah, I think Rikachu not doing bad particularly, and he's definitely positioned in good places and kind of doing the right things at the right times, but just kind of damage-wise, I guess the stats are kind of not what I'd expect them to be. Doll definitely kind of shining with a lot of damage in his favor, and the second half is actually starting right now, so I'm giving you this mid.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Let me pick who I'm gonna watch. I am gonna watch Lunaside this mid because I like watching Luna jump, and so Luna will be going Valley with his team sort of jumping up onto the enemy crates there, trying to get into house really early, steal that health pack if he can. He's 1v1ing his scout. I don't know if it's gonna work out for the best. Kig does go down, and Farmsworth takes down Doll, and Motofan taking out Dagger, and we are going to have some significant point presence, and with Kig going down so early, but it doesn't matter because Dingo also does go down. Corsa decided that, he wanted him dead, and so it is a 1v2 situation going on, but Tic Tac does not have any sort of positioning to 1v1 both of these scouts, so he went down to Ringo, and that will be a small and soft mid.
Yeah, and Kig actually went down kind of earlier than Dingo, so he's going to have a tiny bit of advantage there, just like 5% or something. Nothing that you can really do anything off of. But Corsa is on the sniper class right now, something to look out for. And with all the picks that happened on mid for both teams, I think that Being Sober is definitely going to be able to mount a defense for Spire. They do have their combo of the demo and medic onto the Grave Bridge already, but there are players from Small and Soft jumping on Spire. Ooh, Dingo was actually taken out by Corsa on sniper there, so he's proven to be effective on that class, since that is exactly what they needed. 3 picks in favor of Being Sober. Dagger getting aggressive into mid right now. Conductor kind of in danger, probably wants to run away. I see Tic Tac too also kind of doing some work in-house and getting aggressive onto the enemy team as well. So Being Sober definitely able to push out there. King did take a pretty meaty rocket in-house. He's able to just kind of grab the pack and get his wits about him again and just kind of walk back through and get on mid.
Yeah, definitely a lot of really scrappy fighting going down. Of course, it did go down, got rushed by Emoto, who then went down as well. We have the big force coming out from Doll, jumping in and making that medic pop on point, kind of out of fear more than anything else. Kig only did drop down to maybe about 90 health, and so these scouts are gonna, try and push through, maybe prevent that cap happening, and, it's just gonna be reset, except pushing the opposite direction. Especially,
yeah, that was a really
yeah, go
nice
ahead.
response to Hey being sober, being able to push back onto mid. That bomb was pretty well timed, and Kig definitely was kind of in danger there when he forced. So nice force, which is going to give an advantage to small and soft. And I'm watching the flank kind of play around with each other. I think Hey being sober maybe looking to get an opening on the flank there. Or, oh no, this is small and soft. The color is reversed. I'm so sorry. So yeah, Dagger has been picked around Diag, and I think that the combo is going to be making their way towards Greybridge. Tic Tac taken out as well too. Oh, and Kig did go down too, so just a lot of tragedy happening for the players on Hate being sober. And I'm watching Doll gets popped through main onto Rikachu, goes down as well. So Spire's being capped. Uber's already in on last. Players just kind of being fought all over the place. Only 3 people up for Hate being sober. And Dahl kind of bouncing around, but there's a lot of space in it for his scoop, so Ringo's just going to walk into the point there. Oh, people catch him. He's DMing down to 12 health. Conductor comes in with some sticks and pipes, cleans things up, and that is that round.
Just not enough fast spawns. Definitely a really weird sort of second mid fight that happened there. And who are you going to watch this mid?
Let's see. I will give. Who have I? I'll watch Farns this time. Farns, the pocket for anything sober. I don't think I've actually given him that much attention on this match. Sue, I think it'll be nice to see what he does. Hey, being sober, it's been pretty aggressive with both their soldiers, both mids, and I'll see what they're doing this time. So small and soft, definitely going through the closet to being sober. Farns denying the soldier pretty early, walking through that closet and getting some nice rockets off onto the combo of small and soft. So only Dingo and Ringo remain right now. Dingo and Ringo, that did right. So I think Dingo was able to kind of run away there, and he's actually all the way back in the lobby. So Ringo did give his life to medic, which was the right thing to do. And Dingo probably feeling pretty comfortable knowing that he survived that crazy mid fight and maintained some sort of an Uber.
Rikachu going way deep, putting some traps over there on the left side, moving into lobby, making get something done. But he does get caught out in trash. He won't get taken down. Oh man, what is happening anyway? And we do have the pocket going in. Farns and Kig kind of getting some ground into lobby. They do have, you know, Uber, but it doesn't really matter because Dingo will get that Uber as well. And the Uber is popped in pretty much, you know, instantly, and it looks like they're just gonna have to use this to back up because the Uber came up on the other team as well.
Yeah,
not much of a push.
Oh, there we go. So there's a pick from Tic Tac onto Luna's side. I think they were probably just looking to recycle and maybe repush onto the flanks, since I see them peeking on the top right here, and they definitely want to get right back in. And there's players on the point already. Rick be able to stick up the point, and that was a very, very clean way to recycle back in with that Uber from Hate being sober. And is that a pause?
I think it might be.
Oh man, what a time to pause when everything is all flashy and blue. So.
Most definitely. A thing I noticed on mid fights though, especially when Hate being sober wants to win that mid fight, it's Dagger jumping in and doing a whole butt ton of damage to that combo that really allows his team to play off of it. I think every single time. Whoa, my power just went out. Minorly.
Oh man.
No, it went back on. I mean, obviously I'm still here, but
Oh, and the unpause happened as well, so I'm gonna be giving you this mid.
Alright, let's find someone to watch on this. Hopefully my power won't go out for more than a, you know, half a second. I think I will be watching. I'm gonna hit up some Corsa action. I do like watching scouts on mid, and he's just gonna be peppering a little bit, sees a soldier, throws down some damage, and it looks like his team just has a really, you know, significant position going on here. The other team really hasn't been able to make it up onto the crates yet, up onto the bridge yet, and it looks like the jump tries to go in, gets denied by a nice scatter to the face, and Bell gets taken down by a good pistol, and that'll be a really solid cap. Both medics are still alive though, but Kig does have a bit of an advantage. We do have a few red players sort of, you know, backing up, seeing what they can do. I don't think anybody's hiding anywhere, but you never know what might happen.
Yeah, so we've got the Hate being sober players hanging out on Spire. They're gonna cap it here, and the Ubers are gonna be sort of even. By the time it matters, they will definitely be even. I see Kig climbing, since I do know there's a forward hold happening from small and soft. And right now, I guess I'm just expecting them to try and break through the forward hold of... Or small and soft actually did back up since they got the Uber, but yeah, I'm gonna expect them to do something creative to push into last with the even Ubers, since last time we did see them recycle, so they might try and do that again, or try something else this time. People are just kind of being buffed up right now. I think that's just a conventional bomb in right now from one of the blue soldiers. Doesn't seem to be getting much done. Dagger, yeah, does get taken out, and Dingo went down to 7 health, and then drops. I think that was just to a crazy normal rocket from Farn, so that's gonna cue a push from Hate Being Sober. Dingo held onto that very bravely, but then was taken out there, so this push won't be an even Uber push anymore.
Super lucky Luna though.
Oh my god. That was crazy.
What was going on? Luna kind of just went behind the entire team, cleaned up Rikachu, and decided to, you know, just kind of waltz in through lobby there, see what he do, but by the time that happened, it was too late. Badlands, man. Happens in a second, I swear.
Alright, so that brings us to a 4-4 right now, so pretty close match happening, and to continue the tradition of watching roamers, I will watch Lunaside this mid. I think both the small and soft soldiers have been using those gunboats, so they've both been really aggressive. And Lunaside, though, really early bomb onto the enemy combo, does get a lot of damage on the kick. He does get cleaned up, too, so now kick and dagger are both taken out. Lunaside is dead, though, but with no heals in favor of Hate Being Sober, I think small and soft should be getting really aggressive here to do what they need to take this mid. I see Kev kind of pressuring enemy players. This get taken down to around 17 health, and Ringo's pretty weak as well in house. Does lose the 1v1 to the scout, so now we've only got Doll up for small and soft, so what looked like a very promising mid is actually turning into quite the tragedy for them, as Hate Being Sober are able to just kind of power through at the end and take that.
Absolutely, heals were bad, and Small and Soft just really couldn't get out of that choke, and so when the spam started coming in, they didn't really want to back up, because, oh man, we have advantage, we don't want to lose this mid-fight, but, you know, by the time that happened, it was just too late. Rikachu goes down to a rocket from Lunaside, and Corsa takes that down as well, so Spire is not capped yet. Surprisingly, we do have some contestation going on there. Rikachu throwing out some stakey, being 1v1 there. Tic Tac takes Kaylee down. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the wrong team going on, but blue team does have a significant advantage with Uber. Kig does have the almost 80% going in here, so it looks like Spire will finally get capped, and they're just going to try and roll into last as much as they can, and it looks like Small and Soft will be giving them some space there in lobby.
Yeah, Small and Soft definitely didn't want to let that Spire get capped that easily, but they weren't able to really power through, and the Uber is popped from Hate Being Sober. 2 early picks onto both Dingo and Kev, so this is looking pretty tragic for the Small and Soft players. Only Doll and Conductor are left up right now, so as long as Blue just gets people on the point, that's going to be the first map, and that is a 5-4 in favor of Hate Being Sober. So this is already a crazy series of maps we got going here.
Oh my god, dear, I think I got a match prediction right for once in my life.
Oh man.
And we will be moving to the next map. It might be on a different server. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll just see a switch over here. So until that happens, I'm gonna take a look at some stats from that map.
Yeah,
Refresh
definitely.
my page.
We've also got players in chat, so I think some people left the server already, and then I see someone, Farns, was like, now what? And there's a see you next map, so I think they're also kind of figuring out what's happening too, so we'll see.
Looking at these stats, Doll over here with the big 10k plus damage, doing a lot of work for his team, so that's definitely good. And just a lot of stuff going down. The combo on Hate Being Sober, however, definitely putting out, we have a lot. Corsa getting, you know, 8,000 damage as well, so that's definitely really good. And, you know, of course, that one drop from Dingo really must have hurt.
Yeah, I think that kind of cost them that, or definitely cost them that round there. The holding the Uber down to 7 health would have been a crazy play if he managed to kind of make it work, but that one drop was sort of tragic. And also to point out, Corsa with a big 31 frags, while literally the rest of his team, aside from his medic, have 23, so they were all deciding to match that game, I guess, except for Corsa, who's just kind of a rebel and powered through more frags. But yeah, Doll definitely doing a lot in terms of damage, and Kev doing a lot of good cleanup work with 34 frags as a scout. I think that both of the scouts, Kev and Ringo, for Small and Soft, were doing a lot of stuff together, but Corsa kind of shined through as the dominant scout in Hate Being Sober, in my eyes, or in my opinion, so
I definitely have to agree with that. Yeah. And as we wait, you know, I am definitely excited, you know, with as close of a match as that was, maybe we will be seeing a third map, so I might have a second prediction come true for the second time of my life.
I mean, I'm definitely down for the 5-hour set of TF2, since who would ever want to do anything that wasn't watch a team play TF2 for hours and hours on end, lots of 5-4 matches.
Esports.
Looking at the match page for the Viaduct one, the next map is Viaduct, and I'm actually not too sure if it's going to be the same server, because right now everyone but Corsa and Farms has left the original one. Well, now everyone but Farms has left the original one. And on the match page itself, there's not any, like, new info or anything. So I will ask around and see what I can find out.
Absolutely. Until then, maybe it would be a good idea to maybe go to music for a little while until we get at least STV info. Yep. Hello.
All right.
You take it.
Okay, so hello everybody, and welcome back to some ESEA Intermediate action. We're bringing you the second map of Small and Soft versus Hate Being Sober, and this is going to be Viaduct. So we saw, I think it was a 5-4 on Badlands in favor of Hate Being Sober in the first map. That's going to bring us to Viaduct here, which just go up to the 4-point mark, and yeah, I guess we can run down the rosters again really quickly, maybe in case anyone missed it, just speedily. I'll do the small and soft one, which is going to be Kevin Ringo on Scout, have Lunaside as the Roamer, Doll on Pocket, Conductor on Demo, and we're going to have Dingo on Medic.
And on Hate Being Sober, we have Corsa Tic Tac on Scout, Dagger on Roamer, Farns on Pocket, Rikachu on Demo, and Kig on Medic. So,
Yeah.
I love Viaduct, man. You don't understand how much I enjoy watching this map played.
Definitely one of the most fun matches to watch, or maps to watch, since things do not stop moving on this map, and I think we have all 6 players in, or all 12 players in, all 6 from both teams, so maybe we'll get started really soon. But yeah, I think Viaduct is going to be a lot of fun to watch, just seeing how these teams matched up on the 5CP map was pretty crazy, with a lot of back and forth in 5-4. We got sides being picked. So yeah, we're going to be going live soon, and I guess I'll give you the first mid when things get underway.
Alright. Oh man, I'm seeing some weird classes going up here. Never mind. Farnsworth baited me, switched off of Pyro. What a shame. So I'm gonna be watching Dagger this mid. I enjoy Roamer, and Viaduct is a fun map to jump around on. We don't have any off classes quite yet, maybe not quite a full-time sniper. Both medics are on Uber. I know a lot of medics do like to run crits on this map. Dagger will be walking up the concrete side, doing what he can, just throwing some rockets out, and there will be a nice bomb in by the other soldier. And it looks like Kaylee is running the God, the freaking cannonball, which I can't remember the name of, and it looks like loose cannon. Looks like Small and Soft will be able to, back off just a little bit, getting that damage on capping that point. And Kig is at 80%, both medics are at around the same Uber, and we are going to be seeing a cliff hold going on here from Small and Soft side.
Yeah, and with these even Ubers right now, we should expect some sort of crazy push where we're going to have Small and Soft trying to get the Uber to be popped first from Hate Being Sober, and Kig is definitely going to be wise to that. I see him kind of positioned in a kind of tucked away spot towards the right side, but if he's not careful, the Small and Soft players can kind of overwhelm him soon. And Dawn does get taken out early, but the Uber is popped from Kig super early in comparison to Dingo's response Uber right now, so he popped on to Scout there, kind of dealing with farms in the house, and they should be able to get a lot of room off of this, just that really late pop. So Kig popping, I think, a lot more early than he had to there, and they're definitely getting punished for that, so only Lunaside is down right now. Tic Tac, Farns, and Dagger are all dead for Hate Being Sober, so Small and Soft able to recap the mid quickly, so already a couple seconds into the match we got that crazy back and forth again.
Dahl actually walked in to force the Uber. He wasn't really looking for anything else, but he did get his team the advantage they wanted. I don't see any snipe up yet, which I'm kind of disappointed because I know Corsa is a really good sniper, and I'm sure we could see some sniper up or maybe even spy up on the form of Lunaside, who does like to off-class, and we do get the bomb in here. Farnsworth trying to get something done. He goes on into concrete, does a little rover there. Rikachu takes down Kaylee, so that's really good. Dahl does take down Dagger, and it looks like the point will go to blue. They have 100%. Both medics still are up on Uber. I don't think either medic has gone down quite yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. And see a hold here.
Yeah, and with that pick onto Dagger and I think Conductor respawning now, that's going to buy them a lot of time on Hate Being Sober, so they're going to be able to hold on the point. And the Uber is popped from Dingo right now. K pops in response on point. No one's going down. A lot of jumping around right now. I think of the red players, maybe trying to get on the flank of the other players. Kev does get taken down by Farns though, but Farns popped up in the air, lands with 39 health. Rikachu getting double donked by Conductor there. But the players from Small and Soft are forced back, so there's a lot of seconds being bought for Hate Being Sober, even with some of their players going down. Rikachu and Dagger are both dead, and I don't think Dingo and Kig have died yet either, so maybe we're just going to be seeing some normal sacks in from Small and Soft, or maybe let's try and push as a team to get back in. But they did lose a lot of time in the Duper exchange here. Dahl jumping up on the rock, pretty aggressive, trying to make some room for his team, and I think he's kind of trying to do that, not very successfully since both scouts kind of shred him. Tic Tac and Corsa taken down though. Both scouts being down is going to be a huge deal since Viaduct is such a scout map. Kig goes down as well too. I just see a lot of scatter guns in the kill feed from the red players, so Ringo and Kev doing a lot of work for their team right there.
Absolutely. Dagger trying to get out, has the big 15 health. Kig does come up still on Uber charge. I was kind of surprised maybe to not see a crit split going on, but with an Uber already at 100%, maybe it wouldn't have worked so much. And so they're going to be taking, you know, maybe a sort of holding back position over here. The medic is holding behind a rock instead of being more aggressive. And we do have a soldier trying to jump in, get stuff done. He's getting a rocket on the med, and he goes down. Dingo drops. Very nice play there, very nice jump. We are going to have a lot of time on the point. Kig does have 60% Uber, so that is absolutely pretty big. And we're going to have some angry small and soft players looking to get that Kig pick if they can, and they're going to be hanging out around Cliff, not much happening. And,
yeah, those sacks were pretty perfect for being sober. Not only did they drop Dingo, they got a couple of picks, so that's way more than enough that they needed to kind of push back in here. And I'm watching Kig right now, just kind of leading his players safely onto the point, kind of carefully, testing the waters. Kig not really taking too much spam right now, just go down to 43, it takes a bit of fall damage too, so he is forced off. So that force is going to be a big deal. They should just kind of get a player on the point to recap it as soon as possible, but as long as Dingo stays up, even though they lost the point there, that force is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And when Dingo drops, I believe, I think it was a really good, you know, call by the other team to maybe not cap the point right away, just make sure they had those spawns to be able to contest with Kig. He gets taken down again by Dalsama, and Kaylee gets a pretty good, you know, loose cannon kill onto Corsa, so we're gonna have some, you know, capping going on by small and soft. It's only Dagger, now only Rikachu up, and so Rikachu might not be able to do all that much. Rikachu took down Luna, so he's still alive and kicking, but he gets taken down, double teamed by the two small and soft scouts.
Yeah, and now we've already got 31 seconds on the clock for being sober, and around a minute left for small and soft, so the times aren't anything too crazy. With this huge Uber advantage too, Dingo should be able to buy a lot of time for his team. So being sober is probably going to really want something to happen fast because of the time it's going to take them to build an Uber. And Kig actually showing himself already, so I think they're just going to be opting to push them together. But Kig does get taken out by a trap, Tic Tac taken out as well. Farn's kind of in trouble, as well as Corsa, so things aren't going too well for being sober. Their dry push kind of didn't amount to much. Dagger jumping in there, gets a nice direct off, but isn't able to really do much there. Rikachu, the last hope for being sober in that push, is taken out as well. So now there's 30 seconds on the clock for both sides, and being sober is just going to have to push in here against an enemy Uber, which is going to be very hard to do.
Most definitely, unless they can sneak someone in there. Maybe somebody comes up with a sniper, and Corsa, as I say that, is up on sniper, so maybe we will get the headshot drop. Nobody knows yet. Corsa is going up on Cliff, onto China, scoping up. Maybe he'll get something. He peeks, gets a shot off on the scout, doesn't kill him, gets a shot off, a nice headshot onto Kaylee, and it looks like the Uber did get popped, the sniper did get called out, and so they might be able to cap this. Corsa still up on China, got jumped by the soldier. Soldier does take him down, and that will be a round for Small and Soft.
Yeah, Spawn Subs did a really good job of holding on to that last minute that they had to get there. They definitely did what they needed to kind of keep the Being Sober players out. And when Being Sober tried that dry push, they kind of got punished for it and didn't really execute it properly. So I'm going to watch both demos. Rikachu rolling out cliffside and Conductor on the ground. Rikachu did drop down to the ground right now, and we should see some bombs any time now. Yeah, so Soldier is kind of flying across the point right now. Early bombing from Dagger, and Tic Tac taken out as well. Rikachu goes down to a cannonball too. So now we've only got kind of Kig, Farms, and Corsa left up for Being Sober. Kig, did get kind of caught by that entrance there and dies. And Farms is, I think he might actually be behind the enemy team. Yeah, I think he's behind and was kind of hiding throughout that mid. So maybe his team called that things weren't going too well and he should just kind of hide out. Try and get a pick onto the med at the end. Down to 44 health. Onto Dingo. Does not get that last racket off. So Dingo actually goes down to 26 health and does not have to pop again. So Small and Soft, very dominant mid right there.
The Great Escape and a Moto fan doing that nice job of chasing and doing what he can. We do have some scouts over here, Tic Tac, trying to see what he can do. Not much going on there. Both meds are still on Uber. Oh, Corsa's up on Sniper. Why didn't you tell me, man? Corsa got a pretty sick, nasty headshot onto Dolls. There's that. And Dingo is sitting pretty at 100% Uber, but Kig is catching up. The Uber does get popped onto point to save some people. And Corsa is still up, still taking some pot shots. And it looks like there's going to be a jump. Haley jumps Rikachu, throwing down stickies everywhere. It's just demo v demo MGE going on over here. We're going to be having a blue medic pushing across point with the scout. Kaylee's still behind, still not taken down. The big one health finally gets pistoled down by Tic Tac, and Kig drops to Ringo. Oh my god, what a huge play. And so that will definitely be a interesting push, and so Being Sober might get the cap, but absolutely Small and Soft will be able to push back in here as Rikachu is really low, and so He is also running Cannonball, by the way, so he got a pick with that, and it looks like Small and Soft gets that mid.
Yeah, Ringo and Kev did a really good job of making Haping Silver kind of just pitter-patter around the point and not cap it for a while, and then they just kind of got some heals, moved back in, and then recapped it for their team. So just kind of staying up as scouts and having their presence was a pretty big deal for Small and Soft there, and getting that recap was a really huge deal. So Dingo has an Uber now, Haping Silver does not, Kig already out on the field at 35%. I maybe would have opted to kind of sack in this situation. They do get the pick on the Luna side, and the force does come out. Kig, though, kind of in a risky situation, does get taken out by Ringo there. Farms, though, kind of hanging out in the tunnel with some of his bestest friends. I was about to say homies, but that would be weird. Farms hanging out, still alive, supporting his scout on mid, and Haping Silver actually able to turn this around. So they were at a huge Uber disadvantage, lost their medic, and are still able to get a lot of frags and cap the point.
Yeah, they finally just were able to out-DM people after a long time of fighting, and so they will finally get that point. Doll is still down. Both meds are still on Uber. I'm still surprised we haven't seen as much crits play. And what I've noticed when Corsa was going up on Sniper, he wasn't really being supported by his team. Full-time Sniper can work wonders on this map, but you really have to have that support. And we do have the Soldier Doll tried to bomb in, gets taken down. We have Luna side also getting taken down. Tic Tac cleaning him up really nicely. And we will have Dingo as well going down. Kaylee gets a pick on Farnsworth, but it doesn't really matter at this point. It is a 4v2 fight with no heals on one side, and it looks like Blue will keep this point, but I don't know if it was maybe worth all the lives thrown away. Kig does have Ubers, so they will be able to defend it, but with those spawns coming in, you know, who knows?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure what Small and Soft was going for there. After the bomb from Doll not really amounting to much, I don't know why Dingo really followed up with the rest of the team, but as I say that, there's an Uber popped off from Haping Silver, and the cap is 90% done in favor of Small and Soft, so a lot of the Uber was wasted on keeping Ringo off of the point to not finish off the cap there. Rikichu is taken down by the double donk of Conductor, so Small and, I was about to say Small being soft, Small and Soft able to kind of work their way back in, but both of the Blue Soldiers bomb right in onto Dingo, and the spy play, which I missed, gets a fish onto Kig, so people dying left and right, tons of crazy things happening, but in the end, Haping Silver able to hold on to that point there.
He came out of nowhere, man. It's almost like he was a spy. That was a seriously pretty nice pick from Luna. And this is what I love about Viaduct. Everyone has to play the point. It turns into a meat grinder and dumps. Happens all the time. Here we go. Small and Soft Soldiers and trying to do what they Tic Tac goes down to Emoto Fan. Looks like to be able to get this point. Medic's gonna have to back out over here. Kig hanging out around Cliff. I'm not seeing any off classes now. I have to check all the time so we don't get another surprise spy play, even though that's exactly the point. It looks like Being Sober is going to take this, and, you know, Small and Soft will be happy to back up, maybe buff people in, but they don't really have all that much time left to push, as there's a minute left on the clock, 40 seconds on their side, and they're just going to have to get someone in here or lose the round.
So what we're seeing right now is kind of what was happening to Haping Sip at the end of the last round, where they kind of just needed an organized push together to go in onto the enemy team, and Dagger is taken out, so that pick is going to be in favor of Small and Soft, and that Uber is there for Dingo, 5 more percentage points to build for Kig. Ooh, I see Ringo Fun from there at 5 health, actually didn't get taken down, but there's a lot of red on the side of Small and Soft. The Ubers are popped off. I think Kig did pop slightly earlier, and the point still does belong to Haping Silver, so they are buying a lot of time, but Small and Soft definitely not being too slow to push right back in there. Course and Rinkview both taken down, Kig out the fight, so all of the blue players have to kind of scramble out of there to try and stay alive, and they're going to have 40 seconds to work with, and that's going to be enough time to maybe build another Uber and get a clean push, but they're really going to need to make that push ultra clean if they want to make it work.
Absolutely, and a really nice last second push going in there from Small and Soft. They were really working together pretty cohesively on this. Definitely a change from when I saw them earlier against a meat market on this map when it just got organized. We do have people getting in their soldiers, but Kig does go down in Moto, who just has his number, but it doesn't matter. The soldiers are going in, and oh man, Dingo goes down to a nice rocket scatter combo from Corsa and the Roamer Dagger, and so they did have that point. And it's both 8 seconds on the clock, both teams, and it's just Luna up. Maybe he'll get the big bomb in. Don't think it's gonna happen, as this will be for Being Sober.
Oh man, that pick on Dingo at the very end there was pretty huge. I think that really is what secured them the round. I mean, all the frags additionally were a big deal, but getting that medic, really nice job from them. So getting to give you this mid.
Alright, I'm gonna be watching Emoto Fan over here, waiting for his buff, just kind of walking across mid, throwing some scatter shots out, you know, just thing. It's just scout thing to have a little bit of jump going on here, and it's an early, you know, jump onto the medic. He's just kind of jumping around point. It looks like Dingo will be able to walk out of there. Dagger couldn't really shoot at that rock all too well, and so Emoto is going to be chasing Ringo and Emoto takedown kick. Both scouts are dominating that medic, and that is going to be a nice clean wipe on the side of Hate Being Sober.
Yeah, and Small and Soft did get a really nice wipe there, but I don't think they're really doing any sort of super aggressive forward hold. I see Conductor putting up some kind of forward trap, but they're just kind of hanging out around the point with the Uber advantage. So I think they're probably just going to opt to buy a lot of time and not have to pop whenever they don't need to. Some teams are fan of aggressive Ubers, and there's a bomb in from a blue soldier, kind of getting behind to pull attention, getting up by the cliff, and the Scouts did kind of bite the bait there, walk backwards, reach 2 bombs in as well as Farns. The force does come out from Dingo, so that was a pretty well executed distraction play from the guys on Hate Being Sober. Dagger kind of still alive, hanging out in there, grabs a pack, and does get cleaned up finally by Conductor there, but without that Uber there, we just need Kig to kind of build the rest of it, get his players buffed up, and then push back in, and they should be able to do some good things.
Absolutely. And you know, although forward holds are pretty great, the more you have to make someone a jump to get to you, the less health they're going to have when they finally get over there, especially with a house to back into. And we do see some aggression over here on China. Looks like that's where the combo will be. Sort of Scout v Soldier going on here, and Luna does go down to Corsa and Tic Tac, and the Uber is popped onto the Scout, flashed onto the demo, and there will be a lot of aggression going on here. Let's see if Dingo can make it out. He is stuck on 80% Uber, and it looks like Hate Being Sober is going to get that cap with only 3 up on Small and Soft. It'll be great. They're going to have Uber, they're going to buff people up, and they're probably just going to push right back in because Kig is only at 30, but we do have a pretty aggressive forward hold going on here. Soldier on Shine. Scouts kind of trying to take him out there, and not much is happening quite yet. Getting a rocket on there onto Dingo, and we're seeing some stuff happen. Getting that dry push out. The Uber does finally get popped onto his Scout. He's going to go straight to that point, and it looks like Small and Soft is just going to cap this point whenever it suits them.
Yeah, and they did send some players kind of deep to get the low health Kig after spawn there, so that was pretty nice of them to chase down the medic, since when the Uber was popped off, I don't think there's a Hate Being Sober player kind of left in sight, so they did try and scramble out when they saw the flashing red players, but they weren't able to actually save their medic there, so Kig did go down. Uber advantage is still in favor of Dingo, and I think that Hate Being Sober kind of doing what they've been doing the whole match, and not doing any crazy sacks or anything, but just kind of moving the players back in as a team to see if they can make something happen. Kaylee or Conductor going down pretty low already. Dingo's approaching 70%, so that's something to be mindful of. I see Ringo taking down Tick, the 1v1 on the right side. Kig doesn't get a sticky right at his feet, so he's down to 45 health too. He's in danger. His pocket farms just go down as well. Kig, 6 health. He's the rocket there, and only Corsa is going to be left alive. Not really the most organized of pushes from Hate Being Sober. Small and Soft able to recap the point with another 100% Uber advantage. Corsa does come on Sniper though, but I think Hate Being Sober just seems to have a more solid plan when it comes to getting in at a disadvantage.
Most definitely. Rikachu might have actually overextended a little bit. He got the point, but it ended up not mattering as he got taken down super early. Course beating up on that medic, trying to get the sideline, doesn't quite get the shot off. He's going to be peeking again. He has a bit more support, and he gets Conductor. That is Kaylee with a nice dom there. And Motofan takes down Corsa, but with a demo down and the Uber pop, it looks like this will probably be maybe enough for a bit of a comeback. And Farns, Dagger, and Tic Tac on the blue side. Dagger jumping in. No, actually, that was Farns. Was taken out by a sick air shot from Dahl, kind of denied over there. But it doesn't matter because heals are in the favor of Small and Soft, so it doesn't look like they're going to get the point quite yet.
Yeah, so only 13 or 10 seconds now left on the clock, so Hate Being Sober just kind of wanting to run in there. I'm watching Ringo just kind of jump around, shoot a lot of things, just get taken out, but Corsa, Kig, all taken down as well, Rikachu goes down as well. No time on the point for Hate Being Sober, so no chance for overtime here, and that's going to be a really nice round for Small and Soft.
Wow,
right.
I mean, you don't have to be flashy to win map. I think it's your mid.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what Dagger does this time. Or actually, no, I'll watch Luna side since he's a fan of jumping around too. So there's been a lot of soldiers jumping behind, being distractions, and a lot of soldiers just kind of flying fast each other on mids. See Luna side just kind of lying in wait. There's a pretty big jump, stuns his own momentum though. Sees the blue soldier going behind and doesn't really get too distracted and bogged down by him. But Rikachu does go down pretty early. As I said that though, a lot more players going up their Small and Soft, so now we've only got Dingo left alive, and he's actually gonna be running for his life. And his life is ended, actually, by Dagger, so That's going to be a pretty nice mid, a pretty clean mid with only Rikachu going down, I think, for Hate being sober, and that's going to be a huge Uber advantage in favor of Kig. And they're actually playing in a really defensive spot, so they've got Farns up on the cliff right now, and that's a really nice angle to spam from if people come in through any entrance pretty much. And Kig is in a super safe place, and that is actually a spy on the field in the form of Lunacide, so I'm going to keep an eye on him.
Oh man, I'm excited. I love spy plays. I'd actually not really seen this sort of cliff hold a lot until maybe this season and the season previous. I know sometimes a lot of scouts like to jump onto that cliffside, and we are going to be having a lot of scrim traded here and there. And Kig, oh my god, Luna got that backstab out of nowhere. Kig got dropped, and good job. It looks like Small and Soft will be able to just kind of walk up here. And, you know, maybe they should be expecting the spy off class by now, but no. Tic Tac goes down behind him, though, and absolutely creams Dingo, and so that'll be an even Uber. I think both medics, maybe one will finally come up crits in this situation. Kig does come up, he is on Uber, and this point does belong to Small and Soft right now. A little bit of contesting going on here, maybe some people ready to jump in, but I'm not seeing too much yet.
Yeah, Spawnsoft right now just kind of funneling players at Kig. Someone unsuccessful. He did go down to 16 health there from, I think that last bomb was from Doll maybe, but still not feeling too threatened. Just kind of grabbed the bag and got back in there. So Kig going down in that spy was a pretty big deal since they had a really nice defensive setup going for them. But that drop from the spy was very good for Small and Soft, but being able to take out Dingo not too long after and keep Kig up right now with this huge advantage is going to be nice for being sober. And they're doing a very aggressive forward hold too, so just kind of stuffing entrances right now. I see one poor scout just kind of caught in the grinder, and ooh, Ringo goes down as well, so Kevin and Ringo both dead. Soldier jumping in, gets the force on to Kig pretty early though, so that's actually a pretty huge deal. Dingo's going to be able to hold on to his Uber around spawn, pretty safe, probably just building with players, and as long as people get back up and buffed up again, I think that Small and Soft shouldn't have too much of an issue repushing right now with an Uber advantage.
Most definitely, we're definitely seeing scouts excel on this map. Both Ringo and Corsa are going a little bit nuts on both teams. Corsa is on, I believe, a 7 streak right now as a soldier jumps in on his medic, and Dull does go down quite finally, but you know, that is a significant player disadvantage. But you know, with a sack going on and Dingo almost having Uber, it's Ringo versus Corsa over here on the health pack. Corsa takes him down, and Dagger's down as well, so I don't think they'll be pushing in anytime soon. They do have the Uber, but it doesn't matter because Kig's going to be getting that really quickly, and they only have a minute left push, so they're going to have to be getting aggressive. Maybe holding a bit more passively and staying back works when they have the point, but it certainly doesn't work when they don't have it, you know?
Yeah, and I think Spawn Soft, it looks like they kind of did a weird second round of sacks when Dingo's at 92%, which is maybe not the best time to do that. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but both Ubers popped on point. We see a lot of flashing people fighting right now. Not too many frags happening, though. Position-wise, though, Hate being sober getting really in the face of the Small and Soft players. Lunacide is taken out, and the combo from Small and Soft is kind of forced behind their house right now. There are picks trading back and forth. Corsa goes down. Farms does go down as well. Dingo kind of getting out some arrow heals right now, and Small and Soft able to kind of regroup, push their players back in, but Soldier is on to Dingo right now, who's still at 150 health, down to 65, just get the arrow frag, so able to save himself in that situation. Some really nice dodges from him there, and then showcasing some medic GM, and they were able to get back on the point there. So 9 seconds left for Hate being super on the clock, but with this 220, they're really gonna have to work for it if they want to get this round.
Rikachu got the pain train, killed her on a Moto fan, and you know, so long as Hate being sober gets that cap, they're pretty much going to win this round. I mean, 9 seconds is 9 seconds, and we are going to have some people coming out here being and maybe jumping into getting some spam out. God, that loose cannon is really just an incredible weapon, and Dingo is approaching 100%, so they probably want to try and take him down before he gets the Uber, or at least cap the point. Maybe Kig is still alive, although the soldiers are jumping in. The Uber does finally get popped. Scouts going in deep, take down Farnsworth. Kid is out, he's running for spawn. Ringo takes down Corsa, who's kind of, you know, getting a little cheeky over there. You know, Kig stayed alive, so that's great. Nice counter, you know, thing going on there.
I think Kig definitely learned from his past mistakes there, since every round they haven't really done the normal sack sort of thing. They've been moving their whole team forward, and Kig this time got out really early when things kind of went astray. So now they're able to kind of work their way back in. Kig at 100% does get out of 60 health, pops pretty early on the cliff, but with this Uber they should be able to get a lot of space, and if I were them, I would kind of keep the combo and the aggression up while someone capped. And there we go, players regrouping on the point right now, only 9 seconds left for them to cap, so Small and Soft definitely wants to get back in there and do something about this. See Lunacide on cliff right now, ready to jump. This is kind of stuffed by scouts and just wooden signs being dubious. Oh man, Dingo getting the frag on the point, and that actually resulted in an Uber, so Dingo getting that frag and Uber from that Uber saw was a huge deal, able to get back on the point with his players, and they're recapping it right now. They have a minute left on the clock, so if they're able to get this could actually be their round.
Corsa going a little crazy finally does go down. Kig was trying to land some nice crossbows on him, but it didn't quite work. And it looks like this is going to be a sort of nail-biter of a round going on. Kig does have a slight advantage, not that that matters all too much. We do have a sticky trap over here on China, just in case we get a little off-class going on here from the side of Hate being sober. And nobody's jumping in quite yet, but they're going to have to pretty soon if they want to, you know, get stuff done. I mean, 40 seconds is still a decent amount of time, and we do have a soldier jumping in far deep behind. Looks like he's doing the same sort of strat, distracting as much as he can. He does not go down. Finally, Dagger does go down, but that is enough to get the medic and the scouts sort of on the point. Dancing around, the Uber finally does get popped out on the side of Hate being sober. And Dingo goes down at 98%. Ouch,
oh my god.
That is the round.
That was a very, very nice executed push from Hate being sober. I was kind of worried about Kig being there at first, but they got in and they just kind of shredded Small and Soft, so very nice ending of a round. And I think this is your mid?
Sure, I'm going to be watching Dagger. I do like roamers. He's going to be, you know, hovering above that concrete area, throwing some spam down, not doing much. There's already somebody behind him, but it doesn't matter because Luna just got taken down by Corsa, and so Dagger's going to go back out of the fight and take a health pack, and we do have a 5v5 situation going on here. Both meds are pretty decent, and oh man, that loose cannon is doing some crazy damage on people. Dagger got taken down from it. Rikachu goes down to Ringo, and that will be a pretty decisive cap, as it's only Tic Tac over here dancing around that sort of concrete area, seeing what he can do.
Yeah, so we've got Dingo kind of sitting at a nice 85%, pretty huge advantage in favor of Small and Soft. And with that last round, I think they're definitely going to be charged to want to hold on to this point and definitely take this round a bit more decisively. So they're playing safe around behind their rock right now, and they should be expecting any bombs from Hate being sober right now, but they do know that they've been pushing as a team pretty much every time they have to push. Corsa does get taken down. There's a lot of spam going in. Lunaside's taken down, the Farns just go down as well, so a lot of nice spam coming out from Small and Soft, getting 3 picks on Hate being sober. So if they keep on pushing like that, they can really just punish them very easily, and also with Kig being present in the fights, that could really work to their disadvantage. But Dingo did actually end up having to pop there, so that's not very good for Small and Soft, but they're still able to have a lot of time on the point. Or
absolutely.
Time ticked off of the clock on the point.
Yeah, time ticked off. Time they don't have to cap anymore, basically.
There we go.
Ringo cleaning up Dagger, who jumped behind. He's gonna go try and maybe do a little bit of a flank play. He's going around in house. He sets sights and boom!
Ooh, Kig
Toasted. Kig goes
99.
down. Ouch, that really sucks, but there's only 3 up on Small and Soft, so, you know, Hate being sober might be able to take this point, as we do have the aggressive jumps going in. But 3 players up on Small and Soft, and people are getting the spawns, so they do get the point, but the spawns are fast, and Dingo will have about 50% up on Kig. Both meds are still on Uber, still kind of disappointed we haven't seen any crits, but, you know, such is life.
Yeah, and Dingo making his way with his team towards the cliff side, I think. I think they're just going to build the rest of the Uber in that corner by cliff, so as long as no crazy bombs come in, as I said, that some crazy bombs do come in, but don't really amount to much. But as long as Dingo's not feeling threatened, this isn't very unsafe. So they do get to pick on the Tic Tac and Farns, but they're just kind of running at Small and Soft, able to give their lives up. And Dingo sitting at 98. His scouts are getting back on the point, so this cap should go down for them. But Ringo and Lunaside actually both taken down. I think they're really just focused on getting the cap right now. Might just try and back out with the Uber, and maybe use it when they have more players on. Maybe use it to buy more time. We'll see what happens. But I think they're just going to back up. Maybe re-push when their spawns come.
Absolutely, and it's definitely good to maybe force the cap. Dagger is trying to hide over there, but it wasn't really happening because nobody was pushing in. And forcing the cap means that they have everyone in the position that they want. So Doll's going to be walking in here, and Dagger was right down there at the wrong place at the right time, and he gets the force down onto... And oh my god, Kig comes in with the counter Uber, scouts rushing up through the valley area onto that point. Tic Tac goes down, but Ring goes down as well to Corsa, so it looks like we're going to have another sort of scrappy fight going on. Soldiers jumping all over the place, Dagger trying to do something behind people, but there are just a lot of red present on the point, and Moto is going a little crazy over there, hitting up a nice 5k, and man, these cannonballs are really forcing people out, let me just tell ya what. Rikachu over here with his medic sort of stuck over here by Cliff because of the knockback.
Yeah, and we've got a lot more weird fighting going on. Ringo onto Kig. It doesn't actually get him taken out. brings him into 21 health, but Cake actually does have a pretty sizable, or not sizable, but significant Uber advantage, one that he can work off of definitely. So Hey Being Sober, even if is back in the point, Ringo's taken down right now, and we have some forward pressure from blue soldiers. If I were Cake, I'd maybe try and use the Uber a bit more aggressively, since Dingo is approaching it soon as well. We have the Hey Being Sober players kind of forward on the point. They do swap the soldier on cliff. Tic Tac just kind of spamming it out. And they do send a player behind. I think that was Dagger getting cleaned up there. So both teams are going to have an Uber right now, but Hey Being Sober down a player since they did send one of their soldiers in themselves. Doll does get popped on. The Uber should pop out relatively the same time, so we have an Uber exchange on point. Small and Soft though not being able to get any time on this right here. Dagger's still down, able to respawn right now, but the post-Uber fight is going in the favor of Hey Being Sober with both Ringo and Sakura being taken out, but Kig and Rikachu do go down, so with no heals in favor of Hey Being Sober, Small and Soft can just get as aggressive as they want, so their damage is going to be permanent for a while. But they're going to have to back off since they didn't heal their players up a bit more, but pushing back in right now with the advantage that they have should not be that much of a problem.
Absolutely, and with those fast spawns, that means Dingo will already be up, already have that 50%, and will be getting pretty aggressive with Conductor and Kaylee, getting his pockets up there onto the point, and we do have finally some time going down, spamming that cannonball, trying to keep that other medic and demo down in that choke. Dagger did go down. We do have a big bomb over here onto Dingo. Dingo gets popped onto the air, surfs onto China. Great escape there, and Farnsworth did go down to Emoto Fan. So, nice bomb, but really nice escape as well. And it is 38 seconds on the clock for both teams, and so it's kind of getting down to the grindstone here. Kig approaching that Uber, and another bomb goes behind. I believe that is Doll, and Doll took down Farnsworth. Also, kind of a trade going on there, and that big demo jump, Rikachu going in, forcing the Uber out, and that'll be a double scout Uber going in onto point. Rikachu goes down, Corsa goes down, and that will be a lot of time in favor for Small and Soft.
Yeah, Kig escaping into spawn with only a little bit of health. Hits up the cabinet though, but with that time on the clock, they're gonna have to really get in there right now. And Lunaside up on heavy, definitely determined to not give up the point. He's not quite on the point, but he is firing off his minigun, maybe scaring the blue players. Uber is popped. They cannot pop or cap the point while they're Ubered on right now. So the overtime is happening. They're getting the players to actually cap the point, and only 3 players up for Small and Soft. But they do have 38 seconds to work with, so Dingo can definitely get an Uber. They can definitely do another push as a team with that Uber if they choose to, or they might just opt to get a bit more aggressive now. Watching players from the blue team really aggressive doing a forward hold, mostly on the right side. Ringo is taken out, but Dingo. Or Dagger, oh man, I can't even speak, throwing his life away. 2 players down though for Small and Soft, so this repush might be a bit difficult, but Dingo is actually at 80% approaching Uber. Conductor getting some pistols on the point with his cannonballs. Does have some time on him as well with the pain train, but does get taken out there. That could be a tragic turn of events. Dingo's still at 98% though. LD scouts in, pops the Uber off. We've got some overtime going on the point. Someone needs to get out and actually cap it though, so we've got a double overtime situation right now. Hey Being Sober definitely wants to run back in there, or the point's just going to be capped by Small and Soft, and that's going to be around. That's a 3-2 in favor of Small and Soft.
Emoto Fan doing a really nice job to kind of cruising around there, taking down Corsa, and got Ubered on, and kind of saved his team that thing. The medic, and are you going to be watching this, man?
Well, we're at half, so...
Oh god. My brain is fried, man. Esports.
From all this marathon esportsing.
It's an endurance event, okay? If the players can do it, so can we.
Definitely. So this has actually been crazy. I think a lot of things have not happened as I would predict them to, just like general pushes and situations. So we're seeing a ton of back and forth from the teams again, even though it's a different format than the last map. So similar sort of stuff going on, and yeah, this is wild. We've got, I think, Small and Soft is leading 3-2 right now, so they just need one more cap. Hey Being Sober, though, we have seen, and they've shown us that they're definitely able to adjust, so they could take those 2 rounds and make it a 4-3, so yeah.
They definitely might be able to. I don't want to say it might be another 5-4 game, but I think we might have another 5-4 game on our hands. I am looking at some stats here, and one that really jumps out at me is Ringo going huge over here with 46 frags, out-fragging everyone in the server, and hitting up that 350 plus DPM. So that is definitely a lot of scout action going in his favor.
Yeah, this is, I mean, Viaduct always has been, definitely is a scout map, and I think that one thing that might help Hey Being Sober is, I think we're about to get started on the second half, but I think that Dagger's life has not been utilized that much. He's just kind of been jumping in and dying a lot, so maybe a little adjust that way. And I guess I'll watch Dagger, speaking of Dagger, going into this mid, so Just doing the normal rollout thing. We're live with the second half. Dagger kind of rolling up the cliff, and he's probably just going to go in for a big jump. Or no, just kind of playing a bit more like an owl on the rock. Follows up on his other soldier, jumps in on the enemy demo, does get some damage out. Conductor going down in the red, as well as Luna and Ringo. And Rikachu and Kev are down, so that's the only fights that have happened. A bit more of a passive mid for Hate Being Sober this time. Same with small and soft players. But as I said, a lot of small and soft players are being taken out, and the sides have been switched, which is confusing me as well. So we've only got Dingo left alive on small and soft. Fighting a scout in main, does get the frag onto Tic Tac. It's probably going to be an alien in chat from Cloudmaker and Muffins. There we go, a lot of people saying in chat. So, yeah, there we go. That's a nice angle from Dingo. The Ubers are going to be even, but that first cap does go for Hate Being Sober.
Source TV chat is always a wonder when there's more than one person in it, and we do have a even Uber advantage. Both medics are still on Uber. We do have a lot of aggression coming in here from the small and soft. The Ubers are both popped on point. It's a soldier versus a scout Uber, and we're just going to kind of be hanging around trying to find people who aren't red or blue and flashing, and finally we're going to have some stuff going on. And Motofan and Ringo taking people down, and Corsa and Tic Tac doing some reciprocation over here, but it doesn't matter because Dingo went down. Kig is still up, but it's only Kig and Rikachu, and they're just being collapsed upon. Rikachu gets a really nice pipe on Ringo, another nice pipe on him. Boom, he gets jumped, doesn't quite happen, and he finally goes down to Doll, but dang, Rikachu, sick pipes.
Some very sick pipes, switching off of that cannonball, so less area control, but a lot more flashy cool pipes and sick damage. that was a series of words that I said. But anyway, got an Uber advantage in favor of Kig. Luna side is down to low health, do a bomb in, didn't really accomplish too much there. Tic Tac going down the low, just gonna grab a pack right now, and I think more small and soft players kind of funneling in to try and make something happen. Ringo getting really aggressive on the Kig though. Kig though barely scraped at like 140 health. So Hate Being Sober definitely not feeling great. Go ahead and pushing back in. Corsa did get double donked, Dagger launched up in the air and sticked, as well as Tic Tac, so that's a lot of frags as they actually get into the lifts of the point, and the Uber is popped off right now. Sort of unsuccessfully though, since with only 3 players up, there isn't that much that Hate Being Sober can do, and I see the tidal wave of small and soft players coming back in onto the point and saying this is ours, and we're gonna hold on to this for a while.
Not even a cap, what a shame, and it looks like that Uber might have been absolutely wasted as, you know, small and soft is just going to set up here, do their thing, and Rikachu tries to go and just force the Uber. What is going on here? Ringo takes him down, but there's another jump going in there. Didn't they call the Uber, but Dagger does go down, so that is a bit of a wasted life going on here. But speaking of that, Kig is getting in on that Uber, and we do have a bit of a trap going on here on China on Cliff, so hopefully nobody will fall for that. I don't see any off classes, but then again, we haven't been seeing too many of that, and it looks like Kig and the team will elect to roll out on the concrete side instead, and they're going to be moving in, trying to see what they can do, and trying to get people on the cap. Oh man, Corsa goes down to the double donk, and so Kig sort of drops his pocket over there, Forrest, and there isn't really anybody to kill. Everyone back really nicely, and Kig finally goes down to Luna, who's hiding up on that China the entire time, and wow, nice defense.
Yeah, even with these Uber advantages, Hate Being Sober I think is spread out way too much, so their players do get picked off, and then when the Uber is actually popped off, it's like, oh, we can't really do too much with this, or recap the point, so it becomes kind of a sad post-Uber where Hate Being Sober players just kind of get hunted down and killed. So, yeah, we've got an Uber advantage in the favor of Dingo. Small and soft still hanging on that point with only around 45 seconds left on the clock. Dagger kind of throwing his life away, jumping in, gets taken out, and Farnsworth goes down as well, so they're definitely not really getting in onto Dingo right now, who sits at 130 health. But Conductor just gonna go down pretty low. Uber is popped. Dingo flashing players around, so those frags and that force is definitely what Hate Being Sober wanted, but with only 30 seconds left, it's a pretty bad situation. Kig actually taken out by Ringo, so that's going to be a huge deal. They wanted the time to build another Uber and push as a team, so they're just going to need to do things 100% dry, but with the spawn timers in their favor, Ringo won't be up for a while, so with that singular pick, they might be able to kind of work their ways in really fast, and if they do something aggressive and well executed, they could recap the point, but it's going to be a tough fight.
Kig got a saw off on him and everything, I really believe, but we are going to have people jumping in right and left. Sticky's flying over here, you know, Dagger trying to get an aggressive stance over here, but it doesn't really matter because that is 4 players, 5 players down Tic Tac, and that is a round for Small and Soft.
Oh,
Not
man.
quite.
So that's going to be a 4-2 match in favor of Small and Soft, so I believe that's going to take us to a third map, yes?
Yeah, because
yes.
Hate Being Sober won Pathland.
Alright, so as casters, we can make jokes about things and then they'll happen. So we are being brought to a third map, which definitely isn't a bad thing because I do love watching these two teams face off. So I think the next map is going to be Process. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Process indeed.
Process, yes. So this has been a crazy set of maps, and small and soft, and Tape being sober, kind of evenly matched in these fights. A lot of back and forth, a lot of crazy things happening, and yeah, I guess we'll look at the stats before we take a short break between getting a new STV.
Yep, Ringo's still top fragging over there, 54, but we have a lot of damage going out just from both teams. I mean, you can't really help it. Viaduct is such a small map. If you throw a rocket around, it's sure to hit someone eventually, you know?
Definitely. And I think also we were putting at that Ringo was doing some work at the half, and he continued to kind of keep that work up. But I think just kind of in general, small and soft, Kev and Ringo as a pair worked like very fluidly together. They were like definitely of the same mind and where they needed to be at the right times, whereas Corsa and Tic Tac seemed to be less of a cohesive pair. Now, Corsa in the first map did put out a lot of frags and a lot of damage on Badlands, and he did kind of keep that up on Viaduct, but that was kind of nothing compared to the scout pair of Ringo and Kev, with the huge 50 for frags from Ringo and the 42 from Kev, and that's some massive damage to only being out-damaged by the demo Ringo was, so just that scout pair was definitely a threat in that matchup.
Most definitely. It still was surprised to not see crits, you know, at all. I know a lot of medics really enjoy using crits. A lot of demos like crits on Viaduct, but, you know, maybe playing it straight is the way to do it. And we do not have STV info quite yet, so we are going to hit up a quick break before CP process and before we go, you know, even more insane than we already are if you haven't been able to tell already.
Yeah,
So,
we won't be saying any English words in the next cast, so look forward to that.
And until then, let's hit up some music. All right, welcome back to match 3 of our ESEA-IM playoffs extravaganza. This is Hate Being Sober versus Small and Soft. Small and Soft took Viaduct, Hate Being Sober took Badlands, and so here we are, finishing off the fight of the night on Process, joined with Deer, who's going crazy with me,
Hey.
and Rondego, our lovely cameraman. And how are you feeling about this map, Deer?
Alright, so the first maps were both incredibly back and forth. We had Badlands, which was a 5-4. We had Viaduct, which is I think a 4-4-2, but it was still like a ton of back and forth. And now we've got Process. So we've got roamers jumping through places. We've got lasts, we've got seconds, we've got mids, all those things that are in maps. So I don't even know what to think about this map. All I know is that, as we were talking about during the break, Dagger will probably have a fun time since he seems to be a fan of jumping around, but whoever takes this one is going to take the set, so it's definitely going to be high intensity for both teams, and whoever wins this moves on to play the meat market in the next round of ESEA playoffs.
I definitely don't envy them for that, but I'm definitely going to be watching both roamers on this map. I love watching Lunaside jump, and I liked seeing what Dagger was doing on Badlands as well, so hopefully he'll be having a bit more of a fun time on Process, maybe hitting up some fast rollouts over here, while on Viaduct, there just wasn't enough behind for him to really be as effective as maybe he wanted to be. And we have most people in the server, and how do you think this match is going to go down, Deer? Like, honestly, who do you think's going to take it?
I think I'm gonna lean towards Small and Soft, and we also might see some more fun off-classing on this map, since a bit less potential on Badlands and with the speed it was moving at, and then Viaduct you can get a heavy sometimes, you can get a spy if you're Lunaside, you can be a sniper if you're Corsa. But I think on Process you can see like an engineer, a pyro, a heavy, all sorts of fun things at a lot of fun places, and then the mid fights are gonna be a lot of high intensity stuff, so gonna give it to Small and Soft, but we'll see how it plays out.
Absolutely, and I definitely enjoy some off classes on Process. It is a big map, and Last does play pretty interestingly, so definitely both teams could probably benefit from having a pick class on the offense or on the defense. I'm watching Dagger practice his fast rollout here, so you definitely know we're going to be in for some fun on some mids going in. And
yeah, definitely.
I'm looking to see these soldiers shine, as opposed to the crazy work that both scout pairs were doing on Viaduct just a map ago.
Yeah, and I think that we've got all 12 people in the server just kind of hanging out in the pregame, and people playing fire classes, sniper classes, normal classes, all sorts of things. I think that
normal classes.
Normal classes. Hate Being Sober is probably definitely going to make some adjustments going through this map. I mean, it's a 5 CP map, so of course they're going to play it different than Viaduct, but just in terms of keeping your players up and being kind of a unit, I think they definitely probably made note of the fact that a lot of what they were being punished on was kind of fanning out on Viaduct and not being maybe entirely on the same page. Like some people overextending, some people being too far to the left while the heals are on the right, and all that sort of stuff. So as long as they play together as a unit, they should be able to put up a good fight like they did on Badlands, and like on Viaduct for the most part too. So any adjustments that teams need to make against other teams specifically, I think that's definitely a privilege of the best of 3 format, since you're playing a lot of games, a lot of rounds against the same people, so you can definitely see what they do and what makes them do what, and kind of test the waters. And this is the 3rd map, so any water testing that they hadn't done before, they don't really have any time for, since this is it. They're down to the wire.
Water testing. We are all city inspectors now. We are no longer playing esports, so this is purely a public safety concern. Absolutely not. I'm definitely looking forward to just sort of a revenge thing going on here, and I really think that Hate Being Sober might actually have sort of an advantage going in on the 5 CP maps, judging by how they played on Badlands versus how they played on Viaduct. There's definitely a lot more forgiveness, I believe, especially on a map like Process, doesn't necessarily cap in a, hot flash like Badlands does.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Process last pushing versus the Badlands last pushing that we see will be really interesting too, since Hate Being Sober, one of the things that they did very successfully, I think, was just recycle. So pop the Uber in, get a late pick onto a flank player maybe, and then kind of push back in off of that in the post-Uber fight. So that stuff kind of went really well for them on Badlands, but that maybe not as easy to do on Process last, and there's also a lot more strategies that you might want to use that aren't just kind of the normal cookie-cutter Badlands one. So we do have setup classes going, so we will be going live soon-ish, and I think I will give you the first mid here when things get underway.
Oh boy. Well, I think I'm gonna be watching. I talked some Hate Being Sober, so I think I'm gonna be watching Rikachu this first rollout as the match does go live. Hopefully we'll be seeing some stuff go down. He kind of flubs the rollout a little bit, he gets cut up on that column, doesn't really hit the right side, so we're gonna be having a slow demo on mid from Hate Being Sober's side. Both medics are on Uber right now, and it looks like Dagger did end up taking that fast rollout. Both soldiers on small and soft, I believe, might be running gunboats. That's definitely something interesting. And Dagger goes down, Ringo takes him down, and Tic Tac is cleaning up both Doll and Luna. So even though they had a late mid, they're getting a lot of nice damage output, and it's just Kaylee and Helios and the wipe for small and soft.
Yeah, I think Small's Up kind of played in their own corner around their own little slanted roof by the unopenable door. I'm saying a lot of weird words. But they kind of played on their own side in their own grassy area, while Small and Soft definitely took the control there and moved their players together as a unit. So they're gonna have a full Uber advantage after that wipe, and they should be feeling pretty comfy pushing in the last. No off classes in favor of small, or actually no, there are. I'm crazy. There's Lumicide on Sniper, there's an Engineer, and there's a Heavy, but the Uber is popped on Corsa. I think the others can get on the point right away, and can't really do too much about people just kind of standing on the point if you don't shoot them and kill them, so that's a quick first round to Hate Being Sober, and I apologize for my unintelligible whatever I was saying for the last 30 seconds, and I guess this is actually my mid, so you have to bear with me even more. I'm gonna watch Conductor right now, just doing the standard rollout, did beat Rikachu to mid last time, and playing up the right side right now, does grab the bottle, and that is a fast bomb. I think that was Lunacide stealing the health pack of Hate Being Sober. So Dagger does come down pretty early, kind of caught out alone by himself, pretty lonely there, and a lot more fighting happening on mid. Small and Soft definitely playing more as a unit, just kind of pushing up, and Farns just go down, but with those early 2 picks, Hate Being Sober took that as a cue to just kind of get out. So not losing that many people, they are, I think, trying to mount the defense against second. I see that Kig's hanging a bit far back with Rikachu right now, but more players from red are just kind of filing in, so they aren't going to be able to really successfully defend. So this fire should go to Small and Soft. Farns is still respawning for Hate Being Sober, but the Ubers are even right now, so the last push won't be anything as crazy as the one that we saw in the previous round in favor of Hate Being Sober. So we've got even Ubers, we've got everybody up, we've got no off classes, we've got buff players, so we're going to see what Small and Soft wants to do to make things happen.
Whew, take a breath there, dear.
Spy. Corsa.
Spy? Don't bait me, you just said no off classes. Corsa is up on Spy, so I will definitely be keeping an eye on that, and by an eye on that, it means I will be on the Corsa camp as he is on Invis, kind of approaching Mini Spire over here. Hasn't decloaked quite yet. I'm not really sure what he's disguised as, but his team is giving him a bit of advantage. Farnsworth tried to make a bit of a distraction. He is disguised as Scout, waiting, watching. Kig did go down. I'm really not quite sure what happened there. Maybe you can locate me, but
might have popped. I'm not sure.
But Corsa, he has his eyes on the medic. Yeah, just so you know.
Oh my god!
He got up. Dinko goes down. A big drop. Good job, Corsa. And that is the last push that probably won't happen for another, few seconds or two. Kig is still up alive. He will have a pretty significant Uber advantage. Corsa and Dagger are down. Doll, Luna, and Conductor are super low health, so they're just gonna have to back up. They may not be able to push out into second on this, but they really are gonna try. There are some trap over here, but I don't think anybody's gonna touch them as we are spamming a little bit out from rollout, but there are just too many players on the board and looks like they're gonna have to set back up on last.
Yeah, Hate Being Sober, Kig's at 75% right now, so as soon as they have Uber, I would just try to go maybe off of what they have. I saw that Farns was kind of testing the water, speaking before to see what the setup was on second, and I just kind of hear players building around the Mini Spire right now from the Small and Soft, but this Uber is here. Hate Being Sober, they do pop through the rollout area. Farns taking that Uber pretty aggressively in, but not really jumping onto red players as I thought he might want to do, and so he didn't really get any damage out. Gets that nice direct onto Conductor there, but Dingo's going to be sitting at a happy 70%, so Small and Soft is going to be able to push back in if they want to right now, and Hate Being Sober is probably going to want to back up soon, or get some sort of crazy drop or force onto Dingo right now, but Dingo 92%, Dagger does go down, that is the roamer from Hate Being Sober, so no crazy jumps coming out from them unless Farns is the one to do it, and Farns opts to back off. I think that Blue does know the situation that they're in, and they are kind of moving their players backwards. The red players are coming in from the IT area, so they really need to get out if they want to keep their lives together, the blue ones do, but getting a force is kind of necessary here unless they want to be pushed on at last, but Tic Tac and Dagger are down, so they can't really afford to lose any more players. This Mini Spire should go in favor of Small and Soft, and they should be pushing last anytime.
Yeah, here they are coming through rollout. The Ubers are popped pretty, big early on, and we do have an Uber kind of gelling around on point. Not many people did go down. Tic Tac goes down. Finally, Kick does go down to a rocket, I believe, from Doll, and so we are just going to have a lot of scrappy fighting back and forth, soldiers jumping. Kaylee trying to get some stickies up on that point, maybe trying to get people to cap, but it is Corsa and Tic-Tac 2v1ing this soldier, both that are really low health. Dahl is at 8, he finally goes down to Corsa, and it's pretty much just the medic on the opposing team, and he's going to back out as far as he can make it, and that'll be a nice mini Spire cap and a nice bit of time for Hate being sober. But we do have a bit of contesting going on here. Scout decides to commit. Looks like Emotofan's going to say, nah, no thanks. Let's just defend mid, and so they will set up, and that will be second for I Hate Being Sober.
Yeah, with that pick onto Rikachu there and the cap on the mini Spire from Hate Being Sober, if I were small and stuff, I might have maybe taken my chances and said, hey, there's no demo, we can't really get locked off here, so maybe we can try and get something in. It was just kind of the scouts on point. And they're kind of trying to make their way through choke slowly, or other way around. IT is kind of being pushed by Hate Being Sober, and there's a lot of red on the players from small and soft right now, but they're hanging out at mid. Dingo does have an advantage too, which is something to look out for. I think Kig should know that, so they should be ready to maybe play in a bit more defensive position until King does get his Ubers at 90%, so that last 10% probably shouldn't be that much of a problem, but it's just something to be kind of wary about. So the Ubers have evened up right now, and we're sitting at a sort of stalemate situation where small and soft, the ball is in their court to make something happen. And I'm watching Kev kind of make his way into the sewer. Ooh, does get caught by Tic-Tac, who is hiding, and Tic-Tac grabs the pack, does take him down the 1v1, but Lunaside and Kev both down right now is going to cue a nice push from Hate Being Sober. Uber's popped off pretty late from Dingo. Kick had to pop, I think, through choke there, so that's going to be a nice response to Uber from small and soft. And they're able to kind of make their way through choke. I'm watching Conductor right now get some sticks onto the enemy demo Rikachu, and Kig's probably going to want to run out of that thunder, so Mini Spire should go down in favor of small and soft right now.
Most definitely. Something worth mentioning is that Conductor or Kaylee is still on that loose cannon, so that is going to be a definitely nice thing to spam through those choke points, and Process does have quite a bit of little narrow areas that benefit from some knockback. I don't see any defensive off-classes yet. Of course, it could always come up on Sniper. Nah, of course it's up on Scout. Let's just hold this. Kig does have 65%, so they can probably afford to be a little bit more aggressive with their hold. And definitely Small and Soft is holding back, building furiously, and seeing what they can do. Really not much happening in the terms of exchange. Nobody's getting too impatient yet. Of course, we still have ample opportunity for that to happen. Have some, rockets being exchanged over in the lobby. Daggers maybe peeking a little bit, wanting to make something happen. Both medics are at 100% Uber, so maybe we'll see maybe a SAT come in from a scout and become up a sniper or something else. Oh, Corsa on Spy. That is going to be interesting.
Well, there we go. So Corsa doing the spy play again. And he's hanging out in lobby, pretty undetected. I don't know if they'd expect there to be a spy twice, and it did seem like the spy was... Last time, even though Corsa was up earlier, the timing of his sack seemed to be in response to one of the players going down from the other team, so they might not expect him to be on it so early. I think he might have, maybe? Just got cut out in lobby? No, I don't think they find him, but he's actually going to be on top of Digger right now. Does not get the stab, not too sure what he did there.
So
should have just clicked. But 3 players are down for Hate Being Sober. That's going to cue a pretty clean push from Small and Soft. I see Dingo pops in on Dahl, pretty deep right there. So that's a pretty nice spot from them, kind of soloing in on Dahl. And Uber will play from Kig too. So the Uber's going to last for like maybe a second longer in favor of Small and Soft. They do get some sticks and players on the plate, and that is going to be the round. So saw a lot of Hate Being Sober defending last and not really managing to push out quite properly. And this is going to be your mid, I think.
Corsa didn't quite, and Corsa didn't quite hit that click before he completely uncloaked, so I think I am gonna watch Luna this mid, see what he'll be doing. He is taking... Maybe he'll hit that? Nah, he's not electing to do the fast rollout today. He's just gonna, take his time, hang up by rock, and maybe get a jump up, sort of deny that soldier as best he can. And soldiers flying all over the place. Dagger manages to make it out and take a pack, and we do have significant ground being taken. A scout going in pretty deep on blue side gets caught out by a soldier. Kaylee goes down, Luna goes down, Rikachu throwing out some nice stickies across the point, and that will be a pretty definitive cap for I Hate Being Sober as, boom, more people go down, and it's just a Emotofan stuck alive on second. He's going to back up to last, and nice place there, nice mid.
Yeah, so Kev's the only person left alive for Small and Soft, and Kig is going to have a huge Uber, like a 100% Uber advantage, so as long as Mini Spire gets capped off, nothing too crazy happens in terms of a player doing a bomb or something. That's how Luna kind of may be itching to jump, but opting to not do it. Then they should have a pretty clean last push. There's a heavy and an engineer up. I'm not too sure if the sentry is going to be able to be effective if Haping Sober do just kind of push in right now, but as long as they focus down the heavy, then things should go their way. But if they don't go soon, they're going to give Ringo the opportunity to build a level 2 sentry right now. So if I were them, I'd be itching to go. And yeah, it does look like they're making their way in through the right side right now, going pretty deep. Sentry is spotted out by Rikachu. Does get it taken down pretty early, and the Uber is popped off. Rikachu kind of often get out the fight. The Heavy is the next target to get focused down, and takes a while to get taken out, but they do have players on the point. That's 90% cap time for them, really. And Dingo actually taken out in this fight, too, so no Uber for them if they ever wanted one to pop in response. So now we've only got Ringo left alive, trying to fight the whole entire enemy team, and does not manage to make that happen. So that is around for Haping Sobu.
Back and forth like crazy over here. Pretty nice push and definitely good teamwork taking down that sentry and that heavy. That's a lot of health on the board, so it's really no joke that they could make that happen and still cap the point. I know a lot of teams would probably struggle and have to repush after something like that. I think it's your mid.
Alright, I'm gonna watch Farns this time, give some pockets some love. So he does jump up on the crates pretty early and do some early crate aggression. I see he's attacking that Flipper Hat Soldier Luna side right there. So Luna does get taken out pretty early. Farns taking this opportunity to go bomb in, gets the enemy roamer, does take out another player, takes out Kev and Conductor as well. So Farnsworth, definitely the player to watch that mid. Got a nice, I think, 4K for his team, and that was a really clean wipe in favor of Haping Sober. So we're gonna be able to cap Ministar easily, and I think they even have Rikachu doing some forward stickies onto the spawn. Lunaside is up on Sniper right now. I think he might have heard the sticks coming up, and he did come out the right side. Rikachu doesn't seem to really be reacting to it, but there we go. 3K from that spawn camp right there. Already in on last, tons of cap time going down. Sniper, maybe not the best decision in that situation. And that's a quick round from Haping Sober, and that's gonna be half.
Dear, when I said that was your mid, I didn't mean that was your entire round. Jeez.
I'm so sorry.
That was probably the fastest round of process I've seen in quite a long time. I'm gonna hit up some stats while we wait. If they ever pull up.
Yeah, it looks like we've got gotta look at frags, but I need to leave that to read. Corsa doing 11, Tic-Tac doing 10, so the scouts definitely putting out some frags. But in terms of damage on Haping Sober, oh man, that's fast. That's a half. Let's start it again. So this is gonna be your mid.
There is no sweet talking today. We are just going absolutely straight in. I will be watching Kaylee once I get him on my camera again. That would be Conductor. And he is taking a pretty aggressive stance on mid here. He's getting, forward. Soldiers are jumping around, kind of stealing packs from one another. And the red medic is going to have to be, backed out into choke. Lunaside trying to do what he can. Dahl has gone down, and Farnsworth and Corsa and Tic-Tac went down as well. There's a lot of red flashing numbers. It's only Keg up with almost 60%, but it looks like he's going to make it out. Nobody's chasing it. He makes a clean escape through Shutter. That will be a pretty nice mid for small and soft, and a really aggressive one as well.
The control point is being contested.
Yeah, I see Conductor hanging out on second, Kingdom 6 up, but I don't think there's any chance that Haping Sober is going to want to push out here with the disadvantage they have. I think they're probably just going to want to mount a solid defense on last. So far, no off-class is happening. I see Corsa is just kind of getting buffed up, so no sniper plays yet, or any sort of engineer or anything, but it's going to be an even Uber sort of push situation happening. So both teams have their Ubers, and Corsa, there we go, is up on Sniper right now, so that is a class that he was doing some good work on Viaduct for some shots. I think the Shadow Door is probably going to get open for him. And we'll see if he can do something. And ooh, does see the medic beam, does get the headshot onto Dingo. There we go, that's a medic drop, and that's going to be a really big deal for Haping Sober with that Uber out of the way, and Lunaside and Kev out of the way as well. They should definitely be able to push in. Ringo does get taken out as well, so players just kind of funneling in from small and soft after their medic is dropped, but they aren't able to amount to anything. Or make their sacks amount to anything. So
oh, man.
that mini spire. Oh,
it might happen. There's 1v1 on last.
Oh
no.
Just taken out.
I believe he walked and took down Rikachu, but it doesn't matter. It maybe gave his team enough time to sort of contest as a soldier does jump in onto Mini Spire, tries to get a rocket off. A Motofan takes down Farn, Corsa takes down Luna, and the other scout takes down Kaylee, and it's just sort of Kig over here. The Uber did get popped and forced out, and so that'll be pretty clean, but it doesn't really matter because Dinko went down as well, and so they might finally be able to cap the second. I don't think anyone is in position to cap last, so that was a really casualty-heavy cap right there.
Yeah, a lot of players just kind of terrorizing Haping Sober by sneaking up on last and then getting picked again, but see Dahl kind of running away from mid, getting taken down to pretty low health, and Lunaside's hiding in forward spawn right now, so I'm gonna wait on his camera and see what he can do. I see there's 6x on the point, so he knows that they're kind of stacking it right now, and it's his time to shine any time after they cap it. I think should be able to get in pretty undetected. Almost up the shutter door. I don't think they see him. Oh, a scout actually does catch him, but he is onto the medic and doesn't manage to get the frag on the Kig. Kig goes down to 16 health, but actually does not get taken out. So Lunaside almost making a crazy play there. Not able to do it. Dagger's taken by Ringo in a sewer, and yeah, we've got Hate Being Sober pushing into second.
Some really aggressive thing going on here, as we did have Dahl over here. The Uber did get popped out from Kig, and he's going to be backing out, or backing forward, or advancing onto Mini Spire with a scout. You know, retreating in the forward direction, and we are going to have a lot of stickies being thrown out. Aspire did not get capped yet, and the soldier is going to jump on, contest that demo. Demo is not going to go down quite yet. Rikachu finally goes down to a nice sticky snipe from Kaylee. Of course, it took down Luna, however, but that will probably be enough to hold on to this Mini Spire, as Dingo does have 80%. We do have a soldier kind of in. It didn't really quite happen. Dagger got taken down. Of course, it took down Dahl as well, so kind of a roamer trade, kind of 2 down on each team.
Yeah, Small and Soft kind of attempting that back gap on mid there really did kind of halt the momentum from Hate Being Sober, since Kig did take his players back through sewer and pop the Uber on mid kind of early to try and contest that player there. So they lost any momentum they had going into Mini Spire. Now we've got Small and Soft kind of bringing the people back onto mid. Have no mid fight happening. Tic Tac is taken out, but both teams are approaching Uber. Dingo's got kind of shaky health as well as some other players on Small and Soft. That's something to look out for. Farms is the big bomb up top, does actually miss that first rocket, not able to get much off, and Kig is forced to pop here. Dingo's still gonna have an Uber, and the blue players don't seem like they're showing any sense of wanting to get out of mid there. So yeah, Red's gonna have to be forced to that. Kig goes for that glory arrow, does not manage to make it, and actually connecting with Rikachu kind of riskily hanging out in the choke still there. If I were him, I would just run away, because I would not feel very safe. But as I say that, there actually are frags coming out in their favor.
Man, kind of missed that nice air pipe from Rikachu onto Luna, took him down, and he's trying to reconnect with this medic, and it looks like there'll be scouts chasing the scout and medic, and Dingo's gonna back out all the way to roll out with a scout. He knows he really can't hold off on this, especially with the player advantage, and they are 6 up on Mini Spire right now. Sorry, 5 up on Mini Spire as my frames dropped to 4 per second, and they're probably gonna try and maybe keep as much momentum as they can, because we do have a lot of aggression over here in rollout, but with the spam going through, and especially not necessarily that much of an Uber advantage, maybe they probably won't be able to push all the way through. We don't see any defensive off classes or offensive off classes quite in, and we do have people on point, people jumping in, soldier up above, Dagger doing a little cheeky thing over there, walking up behind the point. So Uber finally gets popped. Kig got the Uber, popped it on his pocket, and they're just gonna clean up as many people as they can, but everyone's so spread out, maybe they're probably gonna have to back out of this. Kig, with the Uber saw, got really impatient, just ran onto the point, got a pipe to the face. Probably shouldn't have done that, as Corsa and Tic Tac are still up, and maybe with heals they could have cleaned up a little more.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling that push from Hate Being Sober. I was like, oh, looks like they're kind of feeling it, and I'm feeling it too, but they didn't really make it happen. Rikachu, though, with a bomb from sewer onto Spire, didn't actually stop the cap. He get the pick on the Ringo. I think he got a pipe off onto Lunaside there, down at 51 health, but wasn't able to actually kind of halt that second point there. Dagger, though, with a jump in, collides with a soldier in midair. This is like ice skating. I think that happens in ice skating, but I think he's just going to get taken out behind them. Tic Tac, they're really aggressive too, so a lot of aggression coming out from Hate Being Sober players, but they're kind of just funneling in. I don't think that their heals that close to the Spire, but with their frightening DMing players, they were able to kind of back up Small and Soft there. But Small and Soft just kind of pushing back in, just everyone healed back up, and they are punishing Hate Being Sober for that early aggression. So Farns and Tic Tac both taken out relatively late in the fight there. They're going to have long spawns with 10 seconds left on it, and I think mid should go to Small and Soft now.
Absolutely, with Kig having to back up into sewers to grab a pack and 8 people, or a cap of 8 on that point, there's really not much they can do. And I don't know what kind of ice skating you watched here, but maybe if it had more daggers flying through the air, I would watch it too. And we do have Small and Soft being a little aggressive through this choke. We have Kaylee, or Conductor, throwing out some pipes, and Dahl jumped in, or not jumped in, but got a nice rocket onto Dagger. Dagger went down, and so they're going to be bullying their way onto this. Corsa goes down as well, so that's another good attacking player just taken down. And Uber will be, you know, a little bit in favor, and we do have the Uber straight up pop, both Ubers actually. And it's going to be sort of a 6 thing going down. The Motocon goes down, Dahl goes down, and so this will be definitely in favor of Hate Being Sober, as it's a 3v5 thing going on right now. And a lot of scrappy fighting. Scout v Scout. Tic Tac goes down to a nice sticky by Kaylee, and the big jump in. Barnes trying to get stuff down, but he gets sort of caught out. He didn't really realize there were going to be 4 people in that choke, but you know, he gave his team definitely enough room to cap that mini spare and do a little bit more back and forth.
Yeah, Hate Being Sober, definitely something we saw in the first half as well, are good at holding their last point, but they hadn't had that much success pushing out, and with farms going down really early there, I think that's kind of proving to be the same thing that happened in the first half, where kind of lose some players when they shouldn't lose players, cap mini-spire, and then eventually get forced back to last. So right now they do have one pick onto Kev, and the Ubers are relatively even, so they should be able to hold on to their second point for a while here, but when Small and Soft pushes back in, we'll see how they kind of manage the aggression from the opposing team.
Absolutely, and while I said that was probably fastest round of, oh man, I say that, I try to banter, but there are Ubers happening, so it doesn't really matter, and that is a fight in the IT area, and it's really not going in favor of really anyone. Tic Tac takes down Luna, so that's going to be a pretty nice hold there, and that's a lot of people down, so it looks like Being Sober will try and jump in as much as they can, take as much ground. Process is a pretty big map, so they actually have to make the travel time, and it looks like Dingo did manage to stay alive, so Ubers will still be pretty much even, except we'll be pushing in the opposite direction. This is probably the longest round of Process I've seen in a while, as opposed to the shortest one.
Small and Soft, actually, in that post-Uber fight, their Uber faded first. They sent a lot of players out of IT, so that was some good damage that Farns was able to get off in the kind of post-Uber battle. And oh man, Kig just kind of gets dunked on from the stickies and the soldier landing on his head. But now only Kev and Dingo are going to be left alive for Small and Soft. But if I were Hate Being Sober, I would definitely focus on getting at least one person to cap that mini-spire. Maybe send someone in to chase Dingo, but I don't think it will really amount to much since he definitely got back into that spawn, has the player up, and is kind of sitting in a comfortable place. But Dagger up on the Spy class right now, so we'll see if he can make something happen. But I'm expecting Small and Soft not to waste much time and to just kind of push back out on their Spire anytime now.
Most definitely, we are getting some aggression over here. Dingo moving into lobby. Conductor going in from below, throwing some Sickies on point. Looks like they might be committing to this push, although we do have a bit of an exchange.
Ooh, I think Dagger's going for the back ab, actually. He's on last right now, waiting it out with the patience watch.
He uncloaked. There's a scout with him. It's happening.
With him. Oh my god. Hate Being Sober and Master Tactician is kind of getting people behind enemy lines and onto that point, and this is your mid.
Video games. I think I will watch Dagger this mid if I can find him again. There he is. He is not quite hitting that fast roll. I didn't quite get that ramp slide, but he is still going to try and steal that pack. Doesn't get to it in time. He's hanging around, jumps out. I guess he's not going to be doing too much damage. We do have a blue soldier doll jumping in, trying to get some damage across, and we do have the medics kind of rotating around to the respective packs. Doll goes down, Ringo takes down Daggers, so it's a 4v5 situation. Both medics are still up, although Kig is a bit low. Ringo takes down Tic Tac, and that is a lot of people just sort of folding, and Kig did go down as well too. A nice rocket from Luna, and so it's just Richu up at 16 health. They might chase, they're probably going to chase, but I think Rikachu is probably long by now. Nope, he was in sewer, he got taken down, and that was, I guess I'll call it a wipe, even if it was by like half a second, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like a spare if we're comparing TF2 to bowling, which it's a very common comparison. So we've got a huge Uber advantage in favor of Dingo, and they have the pick on the Rikachu right now. If I were a Small and Soft, I'd say, hey, I don't want to waste any time. We have a demo pick, we have an Uber, let's go. We've got Tic Tac on heavy, and we have, of course, a Sniper who I'm watching. And let's see where Dingo is right now. He's in lobby, so he's definitely going to want to watch out for Corsa. I don't think he knows where he is. And they do pop in relatively early. That's probably the smart thing to do. Does flicks, he can't afford to do that in the situation. So Kig gets taken out pretty early. No heals in favor of Hate Being Sober. If I were them, I would have focused on a combat class though. They do have players on the point though, so they can't really do too much about that on Hate Being Sober. The people flooding the point, like 99% cast time. There he is, seized on it, and that's going to be the round. So that's going to get to a 4-2 in favor of Hate Being Sober still.
Man, oh man, I thought that heavy play was going to be ridiculous up top, but he dropped down 2 health, so it didn't quite end up happening, and I think it's your mid friend.
Alright, I'm gonna watch, I'll watch Soccer or Doll in this mid and see what Pockets can do. That one time I watched Farns, he ended up getting a pretty sweet 4K, so maybe Doll will do the same thing, we don't know. There's a pretty aggressive early bomb from Dagger, maybe not the best decision to bomb that early, did get taken out, but Conductor does go down to Corsa. Farns getting Tic Tac down as well, so Hate Being Sober, maybe not in the most comfortable positions, they do pick on the Dingo, so no heals in their favor. With Kig still up, as I say that Kig is taken down, with Rikachu still up, with Corsa still up, with no one still up, Hate Being Sober, not able to clench this mid, so Small and Soft definitely kind of get their way through the end of there.
There are people still up. Ringo and Emoto, we're capping that mid, and they're going to cap that really nicely. Dagger's going to be the first one up on the team. I guess that early bomb kind of ended up a little in his favor. At least there'll be someone. Is that a pause?
Yeah, I think it's a pause.
Oh my god. It keeps happening.
At least your